You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast. All right, welcome back to the Hello Sport Podcast. Home unqualified opinion, unwavering bias. Welcome back, Jesus Christ. He did return yesterday. Welcome back to the big fella, sitting on high at the right hand of God and all that. Eddie, welcome to you, also at the right hand of God. How are you?
Jesus. You went there. You've gone there early.
Well, listen, it happened, dude. I didn't plan that.
He's got a sheep?
Yeah, God's a fucking teddy bear sheep.
God's a lamb.
God's a lamb.
Well, people do eat lamb on fucking
I think, am I more
Jesus
mutton?
Day.
Am I more mutton?
You've got shitloads of mutton.
Like,
about you.
I think lamb would be a compliment.
I think it's absolutely a compliment.
For those listening, I'm wearing basically a sheep jacket.
You're more of a mutton man.
Mutton dressed as lamb.
Mutton pretending to be a lamb.
Yeah, I think
but
it's the
everyone
same.
knows
Mutton
he's a
dressed as lamb. I didn't realize mutton was just a sheep.
Old.
Yeah.
Getting on.
Well, but like, yeah.
Not that old, but old and
Older.
Older.
Basically, I am a mutton in life.
I think you're
Are we a couple of muttons?
bit tough.
But that's what we would be now, right?
I reckon I've still got a bit of lamb in me, bro.
We've definitely got lamb in us. There's no doubt in that. There'd be part of our bodies that would be lamb.
Mate, because we're not that old.
No.
Like, obviously, I've got mutton hair colouring. Sure.
Yeah, you do.
Play on.
And I've got like the skin of like, of mutton.
But I reckon there's...
My knees.
I reckon there's a bit of lamb about me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There are things that like, I reckon... Well,
Could an old fucking... Could dirty old mutton run a marathon? Probably not.
no, you're right. You're right. Could a dirty old mutton do fucking multiple rounds on the bag as well as some like circuit training with weights and shit yesterday? Could a mutton do that?
Probably not.
Nah. A mutton wouldn't feel this jacked after a day of exercise.
And mutton's not as follically gifted as us either.
No, that's true. So
Mutton-
we got lamb about us.
We got lamb about us, punters and dribblers.
I'm going to
know
walk that whole thing back. We're a couple of lambs.
We're a couple of aging lambs.
Yeah. We're on
Like-
the back end of lamb territory, but we're lambs.
Obviously, like, if we go to the abattoir, we've got to fucking schmooze those about to kill us into
To packaging us as lamb.
That's right. Saying, listen, I know that you probably have
Your doubts?
a sense that maybe you're talking to a couple of mutton operators, but I think after 5 minutes,
Try me.
we will have convinced you that indeed we are a couple of older lambs,
Back end lambs.
a couple of lambs that have seen a few winners.
But try me. Like, have a taste. Let me prove to you
Hey.
that I've still got lamb about me.
Hey, put that fucking rod through my head.
Take me out.
Take me out. Hang me up. Gut me.
Yeah.
Blood me. Whatever the fuck goes on.
Bleed me.
Bleed me. Yeah, bleed me.
Bleed me.
Bleed me out. Cut me junk off. Don't know what you do with that.
We'll give them to the dogs.
Well, they must do something with it.
You probably put in Macca's.
Because when
patties.
you're buying fucking lamb from Woolies, you don't get a big cock and balls in there either.
You don't get a lamb cock's big. That's a Dave question.
Will they castrate them so they don't turn into fucking rams? So lambs are like
Yeah.
ballless.
Don't worry. I
Nutless.
was in the country. I understand how it works.
But they should still have cocks.
Yeah, you don't cut the cocks off.
No, you don't. You just cut the balls off. So where's the cock?
Well, once they die. I mean, they're probably stuck
Anyway,
in a wall.
what I'm saying is in the abattoir there must be a pile of penises.
Pile of cocks everywhere.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then once you've dressed us or undressed us, how do we taste?
Yeah, we're at lambs. We've
Got a
still
bit of
got
lamb.
lamb.
We've still got a bit of lamb about us.
Fucking lamb in us,
You
mate.
serve us on Sunday, Easter Sunday. People go, not bad.
Oh, no, that's pretty good lamb.
That's pretty
Is
good.
it the best lamb I've ever had? Look.
Listen, you couldn't bareback it. Obviously,
No.
I know you need to cover me in fucking gravy and mint jelly. I get it.
Season me up.
I get that. But who doesn't need a bit of seasoning to look their
Yeah,
best?
dude. You want a bland fucking lamb? Get out of here.
Do you want
I
to
mean,
know?
how many girls go out without makeup on? That's
None of 'em.
seasoning,
That's
baby.
seasoning.
That's gravy.
What do you mean? What do you think this jacket is? It's seasoning, dude.
Fucking herbs and spices. Bit of
wanna know about-
thyme, bit of rosemary.
Do you want to know about lamb penis?
Of course I do, David.
It's sometimes called pizzle. It can be eaten raw or cooked by steaming or deep frying. The taste is sometimes compared to squid, and they're approximately 8 to 10 inches long and a quarter inch thick.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Sorry, just
Mate, that's all right.
business.
No, mate, business
Our
calls.
business.
Our business?
Yep.
Good business?
Well, just like we booked something in to be picked up and they came early and just... it's
So,
all right.
yeah, okay. No, that's cool.
But What I'm saying, punters and dribblers, in a roundabout way.
Should we taste lamb dick? That's what I want to know.
What Tom's saying in a roundabout way is that we shit here before you prepare to taste the penis of a lamb.
Yeah, well, so like if it can be eaten raw, I'm not
Raw?
That's what it's. I don't know.
I don't want to cook. No.
I don't want to eat a raw dick.
I'll eat it. I'll cook it up.
Dave, if you want to bring in some cooked lamb cock,
because I guarantee you right now there would be a recipe out there for lamb penis.
Yes.
Like this is how is best enjoyed.
well, because back in the day, Edward, and maybe not even back in the day, people who lived on the land, you know, who leave nothing to waste, they would go, well, listen, we're going to do something with this lamb cock. I'm not going to throw it away, but I need to find a way to maybe make it a little more palatable.
That's the Italians, baby. You eat intestine and shit over there.
I wonder, you know what, if I'm eating dick, right?
Yep. If you're going to munch down on it.
If you're going to munch down on some fucking shaft,
Yep.
I would need it to be butterflied because the idea of having the fucking pee hole in there is probably where it... Like
You'd want a butterfly, like a sausage.
Yeah, like a sausage.
Yeah. I like butterflied sausages. They cook quicker anyway.
They cook way quicker, dude. Yeah. Like it's just
we all
easier.
know that.
But I feel like there are probably men out there as well who are like, you butterfly your sausages? What a fucking idiot.
So what are we thinking there? Are we thinking like a nice damper bun? You know what I mean? Or like a nice soft white roll?
Soft white roll. Maybe with some
onion.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I like having the sesame seeds on the roll.
We can have sesame seeds if that's what you want. Sesame seeds, flour, either.
Yep.
I don't care. If you want to get sesame seeds, have a go.
I kind of like the flour,
The flour's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, the flour's good.
We butterfly that shaft,
Yeah.
and then we get some onion on there and some mustard and some fucking Tommy or some chutney or maybe some pickled mustard. Who knows, baby?
There's a world where I sort of get close to all of the above on there. But the shaft must be butterflied. I can't be biting through that and be like, there's the pee hole. You know, like I can't.
Yeah, no, I know. That would be confronting.
It'd be just too much. Unless there is a way, and this might be a technique done by the people who don't waste anything, where you actually fucking jam seasoning down the pee hole. Much like a chicken Kiev.
Listen.
Or Kiev.
Some of our dribblettes and some of our male listeners be sitting there going, well, I don't get the fucking benefit of condiments.
Well, you're also not biting through it, though, in fairness.
You're just sucking on it.
You're just sucking on it.
Not the same thing.
No, it's definitely not the same
No,
thing.
you're dead right. When teeth come into it and you got to start chewing, different story.
No, it's a completely different ball game.
Listen.
Like bumholes are eaten. You know what I mean? Like everyone does things that, you know, in the cold, harsh light of day we're not super fucking stoked with. Not that we're not proud of it. There's nothing wrong with licking ass and eating shaft and vaginas, right? There's nothing wrong with that.
No, it is to be human.
But it is to be human. It's the most human thing in the world to eat an ass.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about biting through a pee hole.
We're talking about biting through a lamb's cock.
And for that,
I need
condiments. I require condiments.
Is that too much?
It's as simple as that.
Anyway, how's your Easter?
It was fucking terrific, Tom. I got to tell you, starting to fall madly in love with that 4-day block.
It's a great 4-day block.
It's so underrated, I reckon.
Yeah.
It's fucking underrated. When people talk holidays, obviously, if you live in Australia, everyone goes December, January, feed up, horizontal season. We know the drill, punters and dribblers. We know the drill. Obviously, there's that June long weekend that people sort of, you know, we talk about.
Queen's birthday.
Anzac Day, obviously elite. We all know that. There's the fucking October long weekend. You got the Rugby League Grand Final, elite. But sometimes I feel like the Easter long weekend, which is 4 days, so it's a long, long weekend, gets slept on.
Yeah.
It's a fucking doozy. You got Rugby League out the arsehole. You had the Masters on. You had the fucking UFC. It's 4 days that I mentioned that. And it's a bit cooler, Tom.
Yeah.
I was down in the Highlands, baby. I'm rugged up. 11, 13 degrees. I'm loving it.
Yeah, dude.
Like, fuck off humidity. You and me are done.
Eat a lamb's dick humidity.
Yeah, without condiments.
Yeah, condiment-free lamb
Condiment-free, baby. So I've been absolutely loving the last 4 days, Tom. Had the fucking time of my life, mate.
Where I saw an Instagram story of you reminiscent of Blue Mountains vibes. On your Instagram story, there was like a pan of like fucking views and escarpments and like bushland. Is that Robertson?
That was Robertson, yeah.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
realize Robertson had that.
Friends of ours, their house is like right on the right on like the escarpment, the cliff, because
Is it a canyon? Canyon.
the back end of Robertson is like Macquarie's Pass and shit. You know how you wind down to Albion Park and
Albion Park
Wollongong,
Rail.
etc.
Yeah.
So it's fucking steep.
Yeah, right. I was looking at that going, fuck, Eddie's nipped up to the Blue Mountains over east. That's a huge call.
No, mate, it's like 10, 15 minutes outside of Robbo.
Yeah, nice, mate. Nice, mate.
So that was good. Caught up with some friends, caught up with family, and just fucking drunk piss
yeah.
and ate chocolate.
Ate chocolate.
Yep. And ate well. Fucking ate well.
Yeah.
I had like shepherd's pie, I had fucking schnitties, I had big T-bone steaks, I had lamb chops. What else do I have? Bangers and mash. Gravies.
That was a great kids show as well. I don't know if anyone,
Jews.
do you remember Bangers and Mash, the kids show?
Yes.
Was it like a gorilla and some shit? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was.
There
a
were two
gorilla.
gorillas, Bangers and Mash.
Yeah.
I think might have been it.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's taking me right back.
Yeah.
And then, saw mum and dad, which is nice. Saw me brah.
They came down to Robbo.
They came through Robbo on the way to Wollongong to see me brah.
Your bra.
Yep.
You saw your brother?
Saw me brah.
He came back through.
Well, we went to Wollongong for Sunday.
Nice. Nice. Saw the bra.
Saw me brah.
How's the bra doing?
Bra's good. Bra's good. Bra was coming off a bit of COVID, but he was all right.
Who still gets that?
He got it. He said it was mild as fuck. But he's good other than that.
That's good.
How was your weekend, mate?
I, too, share your sentiments around Easter, and I want that. I want that on the public record.
Well, no, this time. It's on the public record. It's in the minutes.
Yeah, good.
It's in the minutes.
Kept by Dave. We went down to Tumut. You want to talk about cold fucking weather? Tumut's the place to go. Now, Steph and the girls went Thursday night. I did the stream with you and Josh and Seb, and then I went down Friday. Now, I'm not going to get too...
How'd you get down there?
I drove.
How?
Well, they took Steph's mum's car. Or they took our car and I took Steph's mum's car. Right. I'm not going to get too into what I'm about to tell you because it happens every time on the show and I feel like I'm just becoming a broken fucking record. But the weekend, divine as it was, and I'll speak more on that shortly, was marred in illness and controversy. Controversy being the illness. I don't know if I said on this podcast last week, Evie, double ear infection, fucking antibiotics. She recovers by Thursday. We get her in the car Thursday night to drive to Tumut. She in the car, happy as Larry, ready to go for a snooze. By the time she arrives at Tumut, Edward, by the time she gets there, Steph gets out of the car to remove her. She is a hot water bottle with a fever and a fucking temperature of the 40 persuasion.
That's high.
That's hot. It's high. She spent the rest of the weekend sick to the point where on Sunday we had to take her to the hospital because she was having trouble breathing, and they say that if children have issues breathing, you have to get there straight away, and they basically jump all queues. Took her to the hospital Sunday, which was good. The doctor informed us that she's all right, like as in she's sick as shit, but heavily congested, and that's more where the breathing issues have come from, not from the lungs, which is what was good. No lung infections, no bacterial infections. But apparently she didn't need the antibiotics for the ear infection because she was just fucking sick, and then the antibiotics are basically a nuke for your body's fucking good bacteria as well, so everything's fucked. And then she's got this other illness. And then we got back, and then yesterday we had to call the hospital again because she couldn't fucking breathe properly. It's been a shit show. Now, I've parked that. Kids are sick. We know that. I have kids and they're sick. Tumut was great, though, dude. Love getting to the country. Love it.
When did you come back? Sunday?
Came back Sunday.
Tell you what's fucking a game changer, punters and dribblers, that I did. Came back Tuesday morning.
As in, like, right now.
As in right now.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah. See, we were looking at doing that, but Steph had to work today, so the idea of having to come back...
Well, how far is Tumut?
4.5, 5 hours.
Yeah, that's a big hike.
It's a big hike.
Too big a hike.
And I liked it, though. Sunday night, it was like, get me in the car, you all go to sleep, and I'm just going to have silence. Or bit of fucking potty in the ear.
Well, silence is.
Fucking got it. Which is why it was also nice to drive down by myself on a Friday. It was like, I'm going to fucking go.
Well, that's why you had a bit of a glint in your eye Thursday night.
I was like, I'm going to fucking...
That explains the glint.
I'm going to drive like 40 Ks below the speed limit. Really drag this bitch out. Slow as. But it was, dude, it was great. Went down there. Now, this was the problem I had, right? You know, when we went down to South Australia last year to film and do some content around our world-famous rosé of Big Day Rosé Persuasion.
Yep.
And we got boots and Akubras.
We did.
My Blundstones have remained untouched since that day.
You haven't worn them again?
Well, I haven't had a fucking chance to, right? Now my eyes start lighting up. I'm a former country kid now living in the big city. Has some boots that are far too fresh.
They are fresh, those black ones.
Get me back to the country. Let me rock some boots.
Yep.
Because I'm always down there and
you should put them on when you're doing a bit of gardening.
I'm not doing a lot of that, and it's an AstroTurf backyard, so it's a bit
a bit lame.
But you know,
I'm just trying to find some use.
You get down in these fucking kicks, walking through the bloody, and it was a bit rainy, which was nice as well. But you know, you ruin your fucking shoes. So I forgot my boots, and everyone down there was in gum boots and country attire, and I'm walking around, traipsing around the farm in slides. I was paddock bashing in slides.
Why didn't you take your boots?
I forgot them. They were at the front door. I was paddock bashing
in slides,
feeding fucking cows and shit in slides.
Because you didn't want to get your shoes dirty.
Yeah,
that is pathetic.
I had my jeans rolled up.
Oh my god!
So I had them
you are a disgrace.
They're all in their fucking boots. I got my jeans like up to here, and I've got slides, and I'm traipsing through the bush like a fucking idiot. Now these are stuck. My calves are too big. Jesus.
You've got no shame, do you, mate?
I am. You know, it's not. Well, no, I do have shame. I was ashamed. But I wasn't going to ruin my shoes.
But like it's just...
I felt like there was a little bit about it that was kind of country as well, that I was wearing slides. Like, I'm tough. I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to wear fucking slides.
I think you would have needed double pluggers, really worn ones that fucking bend. You know, those guys that just...
Basically worn through the soles of the bastards. Right. I didn't have those. I had some
dry fucking feet.
I had some white Nikes, Nike slides. So they were like... They weren't Larry, but I looked like a fuckwit. Sure.
Yeah, I bet.
Good though, dude.
It's good out there. Friday night, mate, I was at the Robbo pub with a fucking big, thick glass of red Shiraz.
I'm back into my red.
Before that, I had a huge weekend on the Guinness, punters and dribblers. Know that. Huge weekend on the Guinness. And the footy's on, and there's thunderstorms outside, bruh. I was by the fire in literal heaven.
Yeah.
Dude. I'm like, this is it. This is as good as it gets. Thunderstorms outside, bro. Big flashes of lightning.
Yep.
I'm fucking Guinness to the eyeballs. Shiraz mixing in some Jamisons here and there, baby. Fire roaring, footy on. Warm. I'm like, this is it.
There was a storm. There was a storm. It blew over one of the trees in the garden.
Love that.
It was fucking brilliant.
That's
Sitting
what you
around the
need.
fire, tree blows over.
Yeah, that's what you
fucking pissing down. At one point, I thought because hail rolled in.
Oh.
Hail started pumping our car. I'm like, well, now I am a little concerned. I don't want but you know what? I didn't give a fuck. Our whole, so like where we were staying is like a shed next to the house. It's been done up, pool table in there, which I couldn't really play because the girls would be asleep and I'd wake them up. But it was still, I had one game by myself. But the fire in there, the fireplace heated the entire fucking thing.
So it was a good, honest, true fireplace.
It was just honest and true, and one that I just pumped logs into. Like it was going out of fashion, warming the whole joint. It was the one that you like close the door to it though. And then there's like this little latch you can slide open it to get more oxygen in. And I know how oxygen and fire work, right? Fire grows great with a bit of oxygen getting through it.
What needs oxygen?
But I didn't to live. But I didn't realise this thing was even on there until
of course you didn't.
Well, fucking not my fireplace. Nick showed us. Steph's uncle. I was fucking getting into it with that thing. It was a real gimmicky feature.
You want it open and roaring, and then at night, slide it shut, and then it'll just like hum there, and then in the morning, open her up, get it going again, boost, never goes out.
Yeah.
Trick for new players.
Yeah.
You know what topped off the weekend for me? I got a late birthday present.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. Very late.
Yeah.
From the Dumbrells.
Fucking hell, that is late.
Yeah.
You're the goddamn son-in-law.
Another Titanic book. Not the first one I've been given. Mum and Dad gave me one for my 30th. Great one. This, I've finished that. I've pumped that one. Newy, freshy.
What sort of book are we talking? Like picture book?
Heaps of pictures and illustrations and shit, and it's like sort of like written like a novel sort of thing. It's taking you through the whole thing.
You didn't think to bring it in?
I will bring it in. I'll bring it in on Thursday night for the live stream.
Yeah. Which we're probably doing, but we also have to go to Melbourne Thursday, so we might not. We're just looking at it.
We
intend
certainly
on doing
hope to. I hope we're not in Melbourne that long. That'd be a long fucking day.
That'd be a long day.
Too long.
I'd almost stay.
So that was just like a cherry on top. Sitting there, cup of tea in the mornings, read me Titanic book.
That's nice, dude. That's really nice.
Yep. Fucking terrific.
There is a nice... Easter's nice through the eyes of youth. And on Easter Day, the old Easter egg hunt, getting around the farm with Evie and Zoe, absolutely fucking foaming at the idea that an Easter bunny has come to the farm and just hidden eggs. What a fucking exciting experience life is when you think that a giant rabbit has come to your property.
Is he giant?
Yeah, it's not a fucking little rabbit. Well, wait, you dressed up as him?
Yeah, that's true. It's a good point. No, I'm fucking like 6'1" or something.
Yeah, exactly. So fucking huge rabbit just comes down to your property, hops around and hides eggs for you.
Chocolate eggs.
Chocolate eggs.
Which are sick anyway.
Chocolate is great.
Like, I haven't got over them.
I honestly, dude, and this is, I don't know if it's crass as much as it is very open of me to tell you, but I've eaten so much chocolate this weekend, shocking nobody, but I did intend on not having that much, but I've eaten so much. I don't think it would be beyond the realms of possibility to say that my stool 90% chocolate. At least it conveys the consistency of pooey chocolate.
Just pounded chocky? What would you go to?
Eggs. Eggs.
What brand?
Well, Cadbury eggs, Lindt eggs.
I need shapes. I need sizes.
The mini Cadbury eggs, that are the dense ones.
The hollow ones.
The solid.
Solids. Yep.
They are the ones that you want to. They're like as far as if we use the fire terminology, it's a stayer. You put that in your mouth and you suck on that bitch for maybe a minute or two. Let's be honest. If you're really getting into your sucking, they don't last that
probably
long.
2 minutes is probably, I think, fucking pushing the friendship, to be honest.
You don't think you could suck on one of those just straight sucking?
I don't think that's what people do.
Yeah, look, I think you can. It's horses for courses.
Of course,
but you don't suck a hollow egg.
It depends on the setting. Like, I went to my brother's again in Wollongong, got in there. There's a huge bowl of the Densies. So I get into my work. I'm unfoiling and I'm working them over, giving them a real fucking run for their money.
Yeah.
I think that had I sat there and sucked on one as I maintained conversation with people for 2 minutes, I think that's pushing the friendship.
Sure, but what I'm saying is you will suck on a solid egg. You will not suck on a hollow egg.
No, you won't.
You won't.
No. It needs to be dense. And they're the only dense ones around.
Yeah.
The rest are hollow.
You know how you see those videos going around at the moment? They're like short sort of TikTok, Instagram ones of like a machine crushing shit. So it's like
a hydraulic press.
Yeah. That's what my mouth becomes when given a hollow egg. I just put the whole thing in and just go and then get to work.
I tell you what I've done from what I do from time to time. If I can be fucked, put a couple in the freezer, smash them, and then you just pick out the little.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of work. Why don't you just smash them? Why do they need to be frozen?
Because if they don't break apart as well.
Bullshit. Are you talking about the hollow
ones?
Hollow ones break apart fine. What do you think they do? Right. They're hollow.
Come on. You reckon that they break apart as well as if they're frozen?
How well do you need them to break apart?
Better than that.
Why? What for?
Because I enjoy it.
But you just nibble at it.
Because I enjoy it.
Okay, that's so much. It's too much legwork for something that it doesn't change it that much.
It does.
You're going to need to listen.
I'll show you.
No, well, I'll bring them in because Evie and Zoe.
We've got some in the freezer. I'll show you. No, we'll have some.
Yeah, I'll bring them in
yeah.
because Evie and Zoe have got so much fucking chocolate.
And we can
We've got some hollowies.
We can do a room temperature
and a
fridge
frozen.
and a frozen.
Okay. We'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, we will. If I haven't eaten them tonight,
I've got some actually that I probably should. Well, I'll bring some.
We have so much chocolate, dude, and I don't want to eat it anymore. But the problem is that it's there. So unless I just throw it out, which is, waste not, want not. You know what I mean? Like
Tom, the problem is it's there.
Yeah,
that's the problem that we all face.
Yesterday, I didn't eat a thing of chocolate. I was like, that's a bad weekend. I'm just gonna fucking exercise and I'm gonna just abstain. And then Steph comes home with chocolate biscuits. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? We've got chocolate egg all through the house. She's like, I know, I couldn't help myself.
Trying to feed you up.
But so then once she had chocolate biscuits, I went, well, now I'm just going to give up. I got no self-control. Fuck it. Fuck it.
Where's that weight at?
I haven't weighed myself for a minute. I actually don't think I've put on a shitload of weight. I've been so fucking up and down unwell that it's just sort of like, but that's a man who hasn't weighed himself, so I could be fucking 150, who knows?
That sounds like a man who hasn't weighed himself.
Punters and Dribbles, we are brought to you by the number one betting platform on planet Earth. That is an objective opinion shared by myself and Edward Simpson, and that is Ned's. Now,
they'd be loving you.
Oh, yeah. They'd be loving me because I am a terrific...
Are you the worst punter of all time?
Potentially. Responsible.
No,
I keep it responsible, but I'm bad
I'm not talking about... There's no big losses here because you keep it responsible. We're just talking about the fact that you lose a lot of bets. Like, a lot of your bets don't come off.
I'm bad.
Not the volume of money, the volume of bets.
Yes, dude. I'm shit at punting right now. Right now, Edward. Not always, but right now.
What do you think that is?
Oh, look, dude, you know what? Maybe it's that you can't be great all the time, and that's okay. And if you're responsible, then it's all good. Now, In the hood. We've got a betting group on the Neds app, which you can join. Go into the group section and search for About Even, and the code to get in, Dribbler.
Pretty easy.
Pretty easy. We share bets in there. You can copy bets, all that jazz, all that good stuff.
And also, you know what else we do in there? We spread good, honest cheer.
Yep. Christmas cheer.
Christmas cheer.
All year round.
That's right. And we also share our bets. And we also have a bit of a giggle and a bit of banter.
You probably don't want to follow any of mine, and by probably
you don't want to miss.
Definitely.
I'll tell you what you want to do. You want to be in there when Sebo's got the doggies going. When he's got the dishy bets coming in, that's when the money starts rolling in.
That's right. We love Neds. Shout out to Neds, and shout out to About Even, our betting show, which is up on YouTube and on podcast every Wednesday around 7
And shout out to Neds.
And shout out to Neds for their support.
Great blokes.
I mean, I don't want to categorise the entire company as
great
a
men and women.
Thank you, Edward. You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website. Punishables, before we do get into the sport, must give a big, hearty hello sport thank you to everyone who bought a fucking rose cord P's and D's hat. Sold out again. Comfortably our fucking biggest selling hat ever. Horny for it. The punter and the dribbler is.
We love the punter and the dribbler. Thank you for your support.
Genuinely, thank you for your support. Love it. Love you. Love it. But
they will have all been sent out by now. So if you bought over the weekend, expect it soon.
Yeah.
If you bought last week, expect it soon if you haven't already got it. But we love you.
But just like...
Big lift for the pink.
Basically all sold out on the Wednesday, which is when they went on sale. And then the remaining, however many it was, just trickled over the weekend. But like, Eddie and I messaging each other, just being like, fucking hell, they pumped.
Ella was like, told you pink could sell.
Well, I think I've been telling you that pink would sell for maybe 50 years.
You both have.
And you wouldn't listen to me. And it's not pink, it's rosé, but whatever.
It's a shade of pink.
It's rosé.
Sure. You know what I mean.
No, I do. I think we should probably just quickly start. I don't want to get too into it. Like, you know, we're not just a manly show, right?
But you want to touch on it off the top?
I mean, fuck, dude. It was...
You know what it was?
Disgusting.
One of those nights.
It was one of those nights.
One of those nights where we looked like pure shit.
Utter shit. I was sitting on just in a chair by myself at the house. Everyone else was like watching a movie, and I was sitting in the other room just in silence watching us get absolutely fucking humped. 32-0 in the first half, I believe.
Mate, I sat down so excited to watch it. I'm like, fucking oath. Like, hopefully this is a fucking close ripper game of rugby league that we win. That'd be sick. Just because I didn't feel like that we were ever going to pump the Panthers.
No.
So I dared to dream of a famous Saturday night victory or Saturday afternoon victory. And I knew within the first 2 minutes.
Well,
I'm like, this is going to but even before that,
yeah,
the way they were moving the footy, the way that they were fucking making us miss tackles, I'm like, this is going to be a long night in the office, and it was.
Our defense for the last couple of weeks, to be fair, like,
well, what is it? It's 76 points in the last 2 weeks,
and then the week before that was of the bye. So like the time we played before that was against the Eels, and it was like 34-32. Like, our defense
so
has
100 something points in 3 weeks.
Our defense has been fucking awful. How many missed tackles we
missed
make?
42 tackles. 17 tackles were ineffective. 42 to 17. Like, this isn't... Well, listen, we've come here bearing our soul, punters and dribblers. We're not sugarcoating shit.
Our defense is fucking gross. It's gross, dude. And defense is the backbone of premiership wins. Now, obviously, I think we'll still win the comp, but, like... It is...
But we need to fix that.
We need to fucking fix that. Like, what the fuck? We can score points, not this week.
Well...
But what I mean is we have points in us as a side.
We have... Listen.
You can't be... Some of the fucking tries that were scored were just horse shit, dude. Like, I don't get it from like a rugby league defensive system standpoint, but it's fucking hell, dude. It was like
People like
we were just getting rolled.
Dylan Edwards was walking through.
Seriously.
Walking over the
Easiest 4 tries that a man's ever scored. Respectfully to
life.
Dill, who's the
Mate,
ghost.
he'd be still sitting there going, I can't quite believe that happened on the weekend.
He's
Like,
never
at certain
scored
points-
3 tries in his life, let alone 4. Where
At
the
certain
fucking
points,
club?
he was legitimately walking over the try line.
Yeah.
When we're defending our line. I'm not going to name names. Not my fucking...
No, we're not in the business.
It's not about that. I tell you what as well, Tom, is something that I've started to notice is that against good defensive sides, we don't seem to do much at all.
We struggle to
there was people that I didn't see in the first half at all.
At all.
Big names, like big penises,
Yes.
that I didn't see in the first half.
Our
at
composure,
all.
it would seem, against good defense disappears. Where it's like, just go through the motions, go through your processes.
We go wide straight away, trying to fucking.
You know what we need? We need another star middle. We need like a big,
like a donkey dick middle.
We need a donkey dick middle. Like, again, I'm not. That's not to shit on the middles we have. I'm saying we have the middles we have, and we need another one. We need another donkey dick. We don't have a donkey dick in the middle, and it's like we just don't get through enough fucking work.
We don't lay. Listen, we're not at the moment at this current point laying a solid foundation that we can get quick ball off and start fucking prodding and probing. We just go, whoop, no advantage. No one's fucking, no quick play of the balls, not quick, no speed through the ruck, Tom. And then we just shift it wide and inevitably get tackled into the fucking touch.
Turbo playing injured, back problems, Schuster out again.
Spasming at half time. KO Weeks, who I fucking love as a rugby league footballer, very wet behind the ears.
Better for the run,
but hasn't seen winners, Tom.
No.
Hasn't seen any winners.
I'm happy that he got a start.
He was just dropped off by the fucking stalk, mate. That's how fresh he is.
Yeah, he's fresh.
Well,
Can you just go to the player stats? I don't want to actually
He gets
look
out there
at
and he
him,
tries. He gets out there and he tries.
But
But Jesus
Manly.
Christ, Ruben Garrick went off.
Yeah, is that an 11-day standy?
I believe.
Fuck. Just go to the missed tackles. I'm not even necessarily going to say them. Tackles made. Holy fuck. I thought that was missed.
Yeah. There's one there that with 7.
7. Yeah.
But there was some walkovers there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That part of the field. Listen, all we're doing, punters and dribblers, is unpacking a really brutal loss.
Jake Trebojevic made 45 tackles, no misses. 97% tackle efficiency. The cunt hasn't missed a minute of football the
Tom,
entire year.
unfortunately, he sets a standard that's not followed a lot of the time.
Listen, you can't all be like, he is generational in his defense. Like, he's one of the greatest defensive fucking players ever, right? He just is. Look at that. But and no, you can't have everyone follow him and do that exact same thing. But like, fuck me dead. Fuck me dead.
Tough night at the office. Silver linings. They didn't put 50 on us. So
oh yeah, well that
the
was
dream
silver.
is still alive.
The dream's still alive, baby.
The dream is still alive. Obviously, Schuster wasn't playing. He was missed. Garrick went off early.
Second half was 12 all.
Yeah, we basically
Tommy
won the second
Turbo's
half.
back was fucking cramping out the wazoo.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's since been rectified.
Can you go to
and he's
meters,
right for the
mate, Dave?
storm.
Wouldn't mind seeing the meters, run meters. Yeah, we didn't have Morgan Harper, of all players, 110. Shout out. Taniela, 116. Great. Jakey Turbo, 19. Taniela is so big. And Josh Alloway, 117. The Mount Paseka is so big, I kind of need him. Shout out to Bullymore, by the way. I wouldn't be adverse to Bullymore starting. Tanny needs to be running like fucking at least 150 a game. He's too big. He's just too big. He needs to be...
116 for 13 runs. Not, you need...
I need 200 metres out of you.
Yeah.
I love you.
His post contacts are 49. What'd the post contact king get? PCM king.
To'o. Yeah, go to the fucking Panthers.
Wouldn't mind seeing his fucking PCMs.
Look at their meters, dude.
70 PCMs.
But
He's
dude, okay, Dylan Edwards, 190. Taruva, 126. Tanga, 189. Crichton, 144. 246. Cleary, 145. Leota, 147.
Cleary 185.
185. Leota, 147. Fucking Sorensen, 109.
Was that Yo ran for
210.
210 metres?
Zach Hoskins, a Manly boy, 131. Lenu, 119. Fucking hell, dude. That is fucked up.
No Fisher Harris either.
No Fisher Harris, no Liam Martin. Like, we got injuries as well. But
I was
fuck,
like,
dude.
it's funny at the start of the season. Obviously, we've been conditioned to go off early. This is the rugby league world generally. We've been instilled in us a need to go off real early.
Yeah.
And after the first week, Panthers lost to the fucking Broncos. Nothing seemed to be clicking. Everyone goes, put a line through them, they're done. Won't even make the top 4. Maybe not even the top 8. They've proven over the last couple of weeks that they're 100% premiership favourites.
Well, D or Dave's fucking bet's not looking too bad for him.
It's looking unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that allows us, Tom, I think, some more flexibility to get a bit more ruthless with our side.
Yeah, with our side of the bet.
Because we're staring down the barrel of 1,000 big ones,
Yeah.
down the shitter,
Yeah.
or down that lefty's gob, which is fine. But I think we're in a position with our backs against the wall to probably add a little bit of mayo to his side.
Yeah. Peter Dutton tattoo, something like that.
A Peter Dutton tattoo.
Yeah.
Would you get Peter Dutton tattooed on you?
No.
Well, sorry, bro.
What about John Howard?
Maybe John Howard, because then I could like tattoo over it.
What
with
about
a
if you get
guillotine
the
above
hammer
his
and
head.
sickle on your fucking over your heart?
Maybe. I don't know about over my heart.
He's not liking the tattoo thing much.
No,
is he?
well, too
It's-
bad.
look, if
he
it wa-
wants a tattoo, but he's like, I don't want to be my first one. Like, that matters. Just get
Yeah.
your second one the same day.
I'll get my first one before then I'll feel
No,
better
no,
about
no. We'll
getting
pay for both of them.
Okay.
Get your hammer and sickle over the chest with
What-
Peter Dutton's face in one of them.
What
and
about just
then-
you two tattooed on me?
His dad's.
I don't mind that.
I don't mind that either.
Dads.
Anyway, food for thought.
Yeah, 44-12, love
tough
it.
night in the office.
Tough night in the office. Turbo maybe won't play next week. Good to
No,
see Jason Saab back.
I think he's playing.
I thought they were saying he was unlikely.
I thought I saw an article today saying he's good to go.
Oh, good.
It was
And
him
welcome back.
him in a fucking recovery pool as well.
Good.
Which made me think, well, he's recovered if he's in the pool, you know what I mean?
Welcome back, Jason Saab.
Yeah, he's quick. And those sideburns turned a few eyes.
Could you find a photo of those? Those were
They turned eyes. Heads.
heads, eyes. Those sideburns were something else.
They were unmissable.
They were unmissable.
I don't know what to make of them.
I'm going to need to.
Other than to say,
I love them.
interesting choice of fucking sidey.
They look quick.
I tell you what I find impressive, Tom, is that Jason Saab, quickest man in the comp, has said to himself, how can I show off my speed even when I'm standing still?
Yeah.
Sideburns.
Yeah, so-
what screams speed like a set of fucking sideburns?
You need to be able to convey speed whilst being slow.
Whilst walking somewhere.
walking.
Because
That
if
guy's
you're
fucking
doing an interview, for example, you're standing still. But I want the viewer to know
Kid's
intrinsically that kid's fucking quick.
Yeah. Have you found any photos of those things?
No, I might have to go on the highlights and get like a... There's no photos on Google Images.
There would be Getty images, surely, from the game. Go to Getty.
Quickly, as well, just as I look over at our little lefty mate, some controversy last week in one of our YouTubes was basically wondering why we allowed Dave to promote communism so freely on this show through the book that sits there, the Communist Manifesto, on his desk. Now, I will say this to the very upset dribblers in a YouTube comment. We allowed it as a joke because we call him a commie lefty all the time. Now, unbeknownst to us, our little communist lefty fuck then got into the YouTube comments and started espousing communist rhetoric, which he knows
Is a no-no.
is a no-no. He made a mistake. He made a mistake, and he would like to take it back. Not take back his beliefs, but he knows that he can't be espousing those, doesn't he?
I know, not on this platform.
There you go.
Yes.
I've got to wait till I get my own
Start
podcast.
your own communist podcast, and we will monetize it
Yes.
and take 70%.
He knows the rules,
He knows the rules.
and he's broken them.
He's broken them.
Again.
He's broken them again.
Can't help himself.
We're not silencing a man and his beliefs. If he believes in communism, whatever. It's a free country.
Yeah.
That's a joke on his desk. Get over it.
Clearly.
Have you found... I thought they were just up there, the Burns.
They were. They're gone.
Did they go?
They were there and they went.
Yeah, they're quick.
They're quick, dude. They're quick.
Buying that for $650. Like, who's buying that photo?
Getty Images is one of the great rip-offs all time.
There is a photo of Jason Saab looking really quick. He's got his mouth open because
We're going to put the whole thing in the
fast.
YouTube, which is legal, probably.
And he's got fucking elite sideburns that are halfway through his cheek, on his way to his top lip, his moustache, his mo. I'd like to see them connected, Tom.
Same.
I think that therein lies real unbridled speed, is the connection of the mo to the hairline.
Yes.
And that's about the only way to do it. But to spend 650 Australian dollary dues
for a
on that
large
photo,
version of that.
What's
If you want the
large?
medium, it's $475 and the small $200.
And for those playing along at home, the large format 5,000 by 3,333 pixels.
So is that what's that in like?
At 300 DPI.
What's that in like a size? That'd be like a big. Can we get that blown up?
5,000 pixels.
There's a part of me, and obviously we won't do it because it's an abhorrent waste of money.
Well, it's 42.33 centimeters.
That's the tiniest fucking thing I've ever seen.
That's not that small.
For $650.
That's like that big.
I mean,
No, it's not that big. Like that big?
Yeah, that's not that big.
No, it's not that big.
It's like that big.
Yeah. Yeah, it is about that
It's
big.
about that big, which is fucking nothing. For $650, you would have 1,000 of those.
But who would buy them? That's what I want to know.
That's
Who
why I
buys
don't
that
even
photo?
understand.
Is that, no, but seriously, like in all honesty, how many times has that photo been bought? Probably never.
Never. But
How many of those photos from the game are purchased?
how many of photos do you
would say
reckon
never.
there are, though, of that shot, then half a frame later?
Heaps.
Half a frame after that?
Well, we'll be able to see.
But so what? Well, they may not put them all up. They might just find the best
That's
one.
good. That's
But
good.
what I'm trying to work out is why would you have it this expensive? Or is
Brett
it for
Hemming-
like businesses and shit? Like would Fox pay for that? To
No,
have
but
that
they
in their-
wouldn't pay $650 for it. They'd have a fucking
Subscription.
they'd have an account with them. They pay way unders that. There's no way they're paying $650 for an image. No way in the world. If I'm Brett Hemmings, right?
Shout out to him.
Listen. Brett works for Getty, or maybe he sells his photos to Getty.
And Getty take a slice.
But if I'm Brett Hemmings, and shout out to him, I'm putting them up for a fraction of that cost.
Mate, you would like less than 100.
I reckon 50 cents.
Well, that is
Because then you start to get into that volume game. Because either you sell 20 at 50 cents or you sell none.
Why wouldn't you then? Mate, I reckon you get $5 to $10 though, and you'd still be selling fucking
Fiver.
ones.
Are you reckon you're selling none at?
I'm saying you're not like 50 cents, yeah, but you're not making. You have to sell like a fuckload to make money at 50 cents.
If I'm Jason Subb's mum, I'm buying that for $5.
But I'm saying you want to try and make it worth Brett Hemmings' while to go to these games and take 4,000 photos. He's not going to sell 4,000 of them.
They're not selling any of them.
I would love to know the economics.
If
behind
you
this
work
site.
at Getty Images, call the dribbler hotline, fill us in on the fucking model because it makes no sense to me.
But there's a part of me that wants to pay $650 for a photo of Jason Saab with sideburns. I know that sounds dumb and that we won't do it probably, but
It's probably something we would do.
it's probably something we would do.
but it's not big enough.
No, but that's the point.
I want that fully framed.
I want that thing purchased and framed.
Yep. So
But like, I'm not. It's the dumbest thing of all time.
So we're buying it. Is that what's happening? I feel like we're buying it.
I think we should buy it. Do we just get the digital version for $650 or they send it to you?
No, you got to go print the fucking
They don't
thing and
even
get it framed.
send you it.
Get this image for $5.85. Why is it?
Why do we
is that
get a
cheap?
Why do we get a Dissy? I'll take a Dissy. Wow, now we're saving money.
Oh, 5-pack?
How many?
2,925? Fucking hell, cunt.
This is one of the great raw.
Brett Hemmings, you're going to need to get your
No,
shit
it's
together.
Getty. It's not Brett.
Oh, well, Brett's involved. You can save with an ultra pack. I can get 10 photos of Getty for $5,550. That's $555 per pick. Per download. Then you got to get it printed. What, you're just going to download that and put that as your bloody
Background?
screensaver?
Good photo, though.
It's a good photo, Tom. I'm not denying that it's a great photo, but that's a lot of do-re me.
Yeah, it is. But the guy's got some fucking mean sideys on him. You know, maybe the sideys jacked the price up.
Jace, if you're listening, let's connect that to the Mo.
Can we connect those sideys to the Mo?
Can we connect that to the Mo?
That might be just what the team needs.
I tell you what, Tom, I tell you what I'm doing if he connects it to the Mo.
Buying that photo.
I'll do it in solidarity.
Jason?
If Jason connects it, we're
Eddie's,
connected.
well, no, Eddie's going to
No, we're both doing it.
No, Eddie's going to do it.
we're both
Eddie
doing it.
just signed up to it. I haven't, and that's good.
I'll connect.
Jason,
What, you're not going to join me?
if he does it, I will.
You're weak.
Well, I didn't say I'd do it. I didn't even think it was a thing.
If he does it, we're doing it.
Okay. Jason, if you do it.
If
I
you
will
play a game of rugby league football connected, we're connected.
Yep. There you go. So that's that. That's the ball's in your court now, Jason. And Getty, what the fuck? Let's bring those prices all the way down. Or explain to me how you can justify those costs, and I will happily. Maybe it's just because they're all like.
Or if you want to pay us to promote your fucking wares and you send us a script that we can read to.
Well, you want to make this thing official. Like we'll speak very positively about you, despite the fact that we.
I can be paid to say that's cheap.
Yeah, no, I can. Dude,
I can be paid to say-
2,925 for 10 photos for
Mate,
550 grand.
that's only fucking $555 per large download, Tom.
And that's
not even the
43
medium or the
centimetres.
small. That's the large.
That's 43 centimetres. I mean, that is a steal.
Steal.
Someone's stealing. I don't know who.
You using the code dribblers at checkout.
Punters Dribbles, obviously, when we do talk rugby league, it's thanks to our good friends at KO. For those of you that don't have KO, you probably don't know what the fuck happened in the rugby league over the weekend because you missed almost 100% of the games.
If you don't have KO,
You would never fucking clue what's happening.
you wouldn't have watched any rugby league, you wouldn't have watched the UFC, and you wouldn't have watched the Masters.
No, you got
'Cause you're
no
a
idea
loser.
what's going on. You'd be living in the dark, and you probably haven't heard of anything that's going on in the world. You're probably one of those real like Luddite freaks who don't fucking.
Unless you're one of those uncontacted tribes of the coast of Sri Lanka or
Oh,
in
you
the
mean
Amazon,
the North Sentinel
Sudanese.
Island? No, not Sudanese. North Sentinel Island,
North Sentinel Island. Unless you live in there
or deep in the Amazon
or
jungle.
deep in the Amazon, you don't have an excuse for
No,
not
you
having
don't.
KO.
If you are an uncontacted tribe, I'm not going to sit here and judge you for not having KO.
Listen.
You never fucking heard of the concept of KO.
You get a pass mark.
You might not even know what shoes are.
You don't get a huge pass mark, but you get a pass mark. Okay?
Listen, if
you
you-
get a D.
If you are in the depths of the Amazon jungle, have you got shoes? Have you never having seen modern human society? I don't think.
No,
you do.
they've seen them.
Well, some
They're
haven't.
aware. No, they've all.
Incorrect.
Yeah. No, they have. Yes. Yeah.
Do you know what the concept of uncontacted is?
They've all been contacted at a certain point.
Do you know how?
I went balls deep on it the other day. Balls
Do
deep.
you know how densely populated the Amazon jungle is? How the fuck do you know
it's
whether
not-
there are tribes that haven't?
Well, how do
been
they know that
contacted?
they're there then?
Because there are fucking tribes that you just. Of course, there are still some there.
There's not that many.
If any, scribe. I'm telling you.
I don't know about that.
No, mate.
I don't know about that.
I'm telling you. I tell you what else. How dare you interrupt a fucking yarn about uncontacted tribes that we're tying in perfectly to a KO read with fucking facts about the uncontacted tribes you've looked into. You absolute moron. You say yes to the riff. You go with it.
What do you mean? I enjoy going back and forth. That's the whole fucking
You
point.
fucking idiot. There
That's
are
the point of the
definitely there are
podcast.
tribes that haven't been found. Of course there are, mate. Wake up. You think there aren't tribes who haven't seen shoes?
You're saying
I'm saying there's tribes that have no idea about shoes.
well,
let alone
modern shoes.
KO.
I think they'd have their own little shoes potentially.
Why would you need shoes out there?
I don't know. Maybe they want to climb up some fucking sharp rocks and they put on
No,
little,
dude. That's what your feet are
some little
for.
shoes,
That's
mate.
what your feet are for. Your feet are tough. Well, they can be tough.
Not mine.
No, not mine.
Not
either.
yours.
No, not mine.
So they get KO.
Get KO, you fucking idiot. Plural.
Now,
I'm not done with that tribe yarn either, just so you know.
No,
I'm coming back to you on that.
Let's take that on to Thursday.
Yeah. Don't you worry.
We'll come back to that.
Pennsylvania, we'll come back to that on Thursday.
Thursday pod. If you want to talk uncontacted tribes, Thursday.
Yeah, we'll see you Thursday.
We'll see you on Thursday. 28-8, Storm beat the Roosters.
I'm an idiot, Eddie. I'm an idiot.
Well, you know what, Tom?
I'm an idiot.
Can I just say something, Tom? Can I just say something? Now, this is going to sound like I'm fucking talking shit with like hindsight and all that crap. I get that. But I looked at that line, that Storm line, and I thought, that's the money right there. Storm plus or minus 1.5, that's the line. That's it. And I didn't fucking do it. I don't know why. It's like there's something in me that says to myself, that's the bet. That's the bet. Storm minus 1.5 is the bet. That's it. Move on with your life.
Yeah.
See it, absorb it, move on. I don't. I overcomplicate it. I over-fucking think it.
Yep.
I get carried away with bullshit.
Yep.
It's wet and it's in Melbourne. What are we talking about? And Jerome Years is back.
All the stats, Eddie, all of them pointed to the Storm. The Roosters never win down there. And they're without Tedesco, who for some reason that made me think the Roosters were going to be better. How the fuck does that make sense?
And Jerome Hughes is back. So they're humming at full strength.
And you know what? You know
Just
what I
about.
do? You know what I do? I put fucking Warbrick in as an anytime try scorer. And I talk shit about Xavier on the left, saying if he's on the left, he won't score. You know what they do? They go, Drew Hutchison's defending on that side. No offense, Drew. Not about you, Drew, but it's... And they just went hard, Munster. Hard at him. And of course, Xavier doesn't get him for 1 or 2. He gets fucking 3 of the bastards.
Nick Meaney's chiming in. I see
man.
Xavier Coates go over and go, of course he does. Because I'd said in the green room before the live stream, Tom, Xavier Coates hasn't scored for ages. Of course he scores 3. Munster, he always fucking scores against the big teams.
I knew the Storm would win. I'm looking at it going, I should bet the Storm. I should bet the Storm. It's like the fucking... Interstellar thing where he's on the other side of the bookcase.
Yeah.
And I'm making all the wrong decisions on the other side. And
he's
it's like,
just
you
screaming.
idiot, you should know better.
Yeah, you screaming, having watched the game, back at yourself 80 minutes before going, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, we just complicated it. Everything was complicated, and it was complicated from the outset.
Yeah.
On about even when fucking Sebo had this game, us to get to 7, wouldn't have won anyway, but to 7 bets. And he said Tupou, and I felt it
10
immediately.
to 10,000, yeah, that was our 7th.
I felt it immediately. Literally, like I just felt this dread, immediate dread. I didn't say anything, but that was a sign.
Yeah,
that's almost like me in the future filling my own self in the past with dread.
That's the Interstellar. Sebo, because you fucked us on that bet, you need to make the meme of all 3 of us behind that bookcase screaming at you to not go on Tupou.
And we didn't say a word.
We didn't say a thing. And then he's like, you should have said something. He's like, cunt, you should be better.
Storm looked good.
Storm do look good. Munster, you know how everyone's like, oh, without Turbo, you guys suck. It is the same for a lot of teams without your best player. I do think that's worth noting. Without Munster, the Storm is shit, relatively. He is so good. He, to me, if I'm picking it, like, who do you want more, Nathan Cleary, Cam Munster? It is Cam Munster. As in, assuming they're the 2 best halves in the competition, right?
Well, no, assuming you can have one or the other.
Yeah. But assuming they're like the 2, whether they're the best players, a fit Turbo is obviously my first choice of anything.
No, but if you're picking between those 2, you pick a Munster.
Yeah.
I'm hearing you.
He's so good.
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
And I heard someone talking about, I think it was on radio, maybe it was Triple M or SEN, but they were saying, it was like, I don't know, when it's like, what's Munster good at? It's not like there's one particular thing where you're like, oh, he is an incredible this or an incredible that, or he's fucking defense. He's just really fucking good at everything.
He's made Nick Meaney good.
With respect. Nick Meaney might be the best fullback in the comp.
Like, let's call a spade a spade. Nick Meaney was pretty Nick Meaney, right?
Yeah.
Until he went down to the Storm and Munster and the system and Bellamy, but probably just Munster more than anyone, made him into a fucking shiny little gem.
Polished him.
Polished him right up. You take Nick Meaney out of that setup and go...
Is he an opal? Like, he's not a precious stone.
No, he's an opal.
Is it a semi-precious? Is that what an opal is? Is an opal a semi-precious?
Well, I don't know.
What's a semi-precious stone, Dave? Because obviously Nick Meaney, not a ruby or a...
He's not a diamond.
He's not a diamond. He's not a ruby. He's not a sapphire.
He's not gold either.
He's not gold. Silver. Bronze.
Amethyst is one of them. You've got amethyst, peridot, citrine, aquamarine, garnet, moonstone, opal, pearl, rose quartz.
He's probably an opal.
He's an opal.
An opal rose quartz.
He's an opal that you found covered in mud, and you just
Polished him up.
Polished him up.
An
Polished
opal
him
in the
up.
rough.
An opal in the rough.
Nick Meaney, the opal.
But now he's a beautiful opal.
He's a great fucking opal, dude. You put that into a ring or in a brooch.
A brooch? Stop it.
Yeah.
You put that beautiful opal into a brooch, and you give it to your fucking mum, who's off to the races.
Yeah.
Now she looks a
Or
million
your
bucks.
nan.
Or your nan. Well, our mums are getting older now.
Well, that's true.
They're getting into brooch territory.
Mums and nans. And if you still got a nan and you're our age, fucking good on nan. Shout out to Liddy.
Shout out to Liddy, she's very much in brooch territory.
She's in brooch territory.
Oh, fuck
dude.
yeah. And
I mean, fuck, she'd love it. You should probably make Liddy a great nan.
I wouldn't mind giving Liddy a meanie. She'd wear a meanie proudly.
She'd love it, dude.
Dubbo races, meanie on the lapel.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Who
stuff.
gave you that? My grandson.
Yeah. Who is that? That's Nick Meaney, trapped inside a brooch. That's what he's capable of now.
Yeah.
Nick Meaney's second highest point scorer in the NRL.
There we
There you go. That's brooch stuff.
That's brooch stuff.
And he won't even get a sniff of representative
That's
football.
brooch stuff. Listen.
Brooches.
There's worse. I'll tell you what, Nick Meaney. There's worse jobs than fucking sitting on my grandma's lapel.
The opal players, semi-precious stones.
Yeah.
They score points. They can score tries in good teams, and they will never ever go anywhere near a representative football side.
Correct.
They are almost the nut trucker in the back line.
Yeah,
you know
fuck
what I mean?
yeah. Who could win a Clive?
Yeah. Could win a Clive.
You know what I mean? Not a Dally M, they could win a Clive.
But listen, though, like you then look at someone like Dylan Edwards, who was undoubtedly an opal. He's certainly, I think, moving into...
No.
He's not a diamond, but he's not a fucking opal, dude.
No,
He's not an opal. He's not an opal.
You can graduate.
That's what I'm saying.
He's a really big opal.
What's a precious stone? No, he's bigger than an opal, dude. He's bigger than an opal. The cunt is fucking two-time premiership winner, Clive. He would have been. He was almost picked on the Australian tour last year. Now that speaks to opal because he didn't get picked, but he's shitloads better than Nick Meaney. No disrespect.
But
to
can you
the
be a
opal.
precious stone if you never play rep footy?
It's a fucking great question. I don't know. I just need to know what the precious
Or
stones
is he just a big precious stone that gets the fucking job done? Because again, Dill Edwards in a fucking shit aside is a different story.
Well, I don't know. They're talking about him being worth $1 million on the open
Listen,
mark.
Tom and I don't know what we're talking about, but we do know precious
And
versus
semi-precious stones.
unprecious, semi-precious
Semi-precious.
stones. We know that. That's what we know.
Unprecious stones are nothing.
Well, it's coal, which is precious. Because
Yeah, no, not coal. It's just like rocks, pebbles.
Pebbles.
You
don't wanna be a pebble.
Precious stones?
Yep, you got your diamonds.
Yep.
You got emeralds, sapphires, rubies, red coral. There's a few other ones
Red
that
coral.
I've never heard of before.
Casper could be some red coral or an emerald.
Listen,
I don't mind an emerald.
Tom, you're merely hearing the musings of a man trying to decide whether or not precious has to equal rep footy.
Yes.
I'm
You're hearing
unsure.
the musings of fools.
Or
I don't think that an emerald...
Does a Clive maketh the precious?
I don't think that an emerald is representative level precious stone. Put it that way.
Emeralds. Listen, can I bare my soul? I haven't had a heap of exposure to emeralds.
That's what
bro.
I'm saying, dude. I don't
But
even
are
know what one
emeralds-
is.
But listen, mate, it's like you could take me into the fucking nicest gallery in the world, blindfold me, open my eyes. I don't know if I'm looking at fucking hundreds of millions of dollars worth of painting or fucking some girl's HSC assignment. You know
No.
what I mean? Like, and I don't know the ruby game, the emerald game. I know the diamond game.
That's what I mean. What are you showing us here, David?
This is Clive Churchill medal winners. Would you say all of these are precious stones?
I'd say that they are pretty close.
Looking at that list, you get all the way down to Brent Kite.
Yeah. And he was one of the great front rowers all time. Inglis, Berrigan, Scott Prince, Mason, Prittis, Fitzgibbon, Johns, Lockyer. They're all pretty fucking good.
Luke Lewis. Like, looking at that list, they're all precious
They're all
stones.
precious stones.
The only one up for debate at the moment, as I see it, Ryan Pappenhausen. He's a precious stone,
Yeah, he hasn't played Origin or Rep.
but he's precious.
That's
don't
what
you
I'm
think?
saying. But he's behind fucking
But
fullbacks.
is he? But you know what? Is he?
Is he?
Is he an opal?
No, he's not an opal. He's bigger than an opal.
But was he a pearl? Pearls are nice.
Pearls, emeralds.
No, pearls are semi-precious.
That's true.
But I would say in the hierarchy, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it would be an opal above a pearl above an opal.
No, yes.
say.
No, same. No one's seen an opal necklace.
Because you can wear beautiful pearl necklaces,
Well,
but opals are more brooch
You
work.
give a beautiful pearl necklace.
Yeah.
You're not given an opal necklace.
No,
I don't even know how that's possible.
we give opal brooches.
Yes, true. Exactly.
So-
Yeah.
That's where that is.
I think Dill is an emerald. Can you get us what an emerald looks like, please, Dave?
Yeah.
Luke Keary.
He's played Origin.
He has played Origin.
Won 3 comps.
He's
Yeah, see, it's green as well. It's an advanced opal.
so emerald is red. No, emerald's
emerald's
green,
green.
and
Ruby is-
ruby's red.
Yeah.
Sapphire red.
What's sapphire?
blue?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it?
Ah.
So your blue, red, greens. What's yellow? Quartz. I don't even know what quartz is. Yellow precious stone. What's a yellow precious stone? Yellow gemstone.
Yeah.
Yellow diamond. Yellow jade. Jade's a precious stone.
The most plentiful yellow gemstones in the marketplace are citrine, sapphire, topaz.
So you can have a yellow sapphire and a blue sapphire.
and a transparent opal.
Get us a transparent opal. Ooh.
That's a bit of fun.
That is a bit of fun. Okay. I don't think we've solved anything.
No, we haven't. We've solved nothing at all.
Let's
On to the
keep
next
going.
game.
On to the next game. Of
Now
rugby
I
league.
want to know how did Latrell's cows go? How did Latrell's cows go?
Do we know? Can you just Google that?
Him
If
and
not-
Campbell Graham literally humped the dogs into the earth. On
I just
Friday
all I
afternoon.
did was watch the.
Do they get hat tricks each?
I'm pretty sure Latrell got 4 and Graham got 3.
No, Trell got 3, didn't he?
Joel got 3, Graham got 3, pretty sure.
Back to back hatties.
1, 2, 3, yep, 3 each.
I was a Keon Kolamatangi away, which is obviously not that close, but that's
He
what
didn't
I was.
look likely either.
Okay, I didn't get to watch that game. Do you know how Latrell's cows went?
There's a lot of stuff about it before the Easter show. Struggling to find any results.
I'm just gonna.
Well, hang on. The Easter show's not over.
That's true.
That's what we've forgotten.
Yeah.
So we don't know for sure whether the cows were put to the test over the weekend, punters and
True.
drivers. So the dogs are as good as we thought. They started really well, and then they got absolutely fucking worked into the ground. Latrell at one point went try, 3 minutes later try. Campbell Graham, very similar in the back half of the game. An absolute Easter humping.
I didn't watch this game. I know it's a humping 50-16. Obviously, the Dogs will not play grand final and will not win the comp now. Did you watch it?
Yep.
How was it?
It was just a humping.
Yeah, which is what we
They
predicted.
started pretty well, and they just fucking turned the screws and just started fucking piling on the tries. The Bulldogs' left edge defense got absolutely humped into the earth. It was barbaric down the right side for the Dogs.
Now, I
Or
mean,
for
you feel
the
sorry
Rabbitohs.
for the Dogs because they have a serious injury crisis.
I don't know how many tries they scored on the right side, but it would have been fucking almost all of them.
Missed tackles, Dave. I just want to see it compared to our Manly side against the fucking 30. So pretty much the same as we did. In fact, way less. What I did notice and did see and did hear, other than this game, was the state of that absolute shithole stadium of Core, the turf, which is why Josh Adokar is now out for fucking like 12 weeks with a Cindy.
Is he out for 12 weeks with Cindy?
I've probably put on some mayo, but
I
it's
think it was
Cindy.
8 to 10.
8 to 10.
8 to 10 with Cindy.
Yeah, dude. Because his foot got jagged up in that shit turf.
Mate,
And
I don't know.
and then I think
what's-
a couple hours, fucking.
Because they relayed the turf after all the concerts they had out there. Maybe it doesn't take it hold.
Who the fuck knows, dude? And like, you know, it's just the injuries that come off a shit turf. When they've also got other junior games, I'm pretty sure someone in the Tigers feeders, like the fucking SG Ball or the under-20s or the fucking grade. They did their ACL. Dewey did his ACL. Now, in fairness to Okor, the greatest shithole of all time, Dewey's ACL doesn't seem like it was anything to do with the turf. He just landed and it went. But fuck that stadium and fuck their turf.
Fuck that stadium.
And
100%.
fuck their turf.
It's just...
This one. Cows, officially a shit side.
Can I tell you something, Tom? This kid over here, real soft spot for the Dolphins.
Oh, bruh.
Real soft spot.
Do you know how... Did you ever hear about that woman who fell in love with a dolphin and let it fuck her?
No.
Look that up, because that could be bullshit. But I'm pretty sure that happened, that a woman befriended a dolphin and the dolphin fucked her. That's me.
You're the dolphin.
No, I'm the girl.
Oh, you're the girl who likes getting penetrated by dolphins.
Well, I'm just saying I've developed such a bond with this
Yeah.
with this mammal, with this fish.
Yeah. Metaphorically. Otherwise, you'd be in prison.
Well, no, of course, metaphorically, and also because if I'm gonna fuck anything, it's gonna be a seagull. But like, you know, such as the
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I really do. Couple of fucking, obviously I'm a really astute rugby league analyst. That's what you come to this show for really astute analyses.
yeah.
The Cowboys had a fluke year last year.
It seems like that.
Now, Scotty Drinkwater made a big difference. Well, like in the opening stanzas, Tom, Scotty Drink had his mitts all over the seed. And he adds a level of complexity to their fucking attack in a good way. However, they're not that good.
No.
They're not that good.
What happened? How do you have a fluke year like when it's 26
You can have a fluke. You can have a fluke year.
I know
you
you
can have
can.
fluke years.
I know you
Things
can.
just gel. Ask Leicester City.
I will ask Leicester City and shout out to them. But it's just like, listen, if I wonder whether you feel like whether it's a worse experience being a Cowboys side when there is so much expectation, where everyone thinks you're going to win the comp this year potentially. Shout out to Scope of One Time About Even co-host fame.
Mate, Willie Mason was saying they were going to win the comp. A lot of people were saying they're going to make the
But
final.
if you're the Cowboys, if you're a fan of the Cows and everyone's talking you up as a premiership threat, and then you start losing to the Dogs and to the Fish.
Like, again, I don't know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
I've got absolutely no fucking idea what I'm talking about.
No idea.
But I would say this. I would just say this. It's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to say this. Do their halves make you horny?
Is that a question for me?
It's a general question to the community. Do they make you horny?
No.
They don't. Like, they don't.
Coming into the season, they did. Because of what... But it was mainly the players in their side that made me horny. Their halves never really made me horny, to be honest. Their form last year...
Like, their
got me
form
a
last
little
year,
bit
they were...
going.
Yeah, but, like, you know, it was a great year. But, like...
Do you think it's something like this? It's like when famous people who aren't attractive, either a man or a woman, get, you know, people horny basically purely off their fame. But if they weren't famous, you wouldn't be horny for them.
You'd be like, who the fuck are you, you fat loser?
I'm not saying these guys are unattractive. It's from a purely
No.
regular
He's
sense.
using an analogy,
Yes.
saying, "Listen, if you weren't rich and famous, would anyone care?"
Yeah.
You can even pad that with power and richness,
Yes.
right? Like, I'm just saying it because it's true. There's some women out there with some fucking ugly guys, but they're rich as fuck.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I can pay you to be attracted to me.
Yes.
Sort of
And
vibe.
vice versa.
And of course, vice versa. But that's just the
general-
use case I went
Rich
with.
dudes, ugly as sin.
Because women, generally speaking, are like a lot more beautiful than men.
Yes.
Men can be on the scale of beauty. Men can be. We tend to occupy the bottom rungs of that scale. That's just a fact. And I've seen some fucking ugly guys with some hot women, and that's a money thing, baby. And there's nothing wrong with it. It is what it is. And all we're saying is, if they weren't, you know, are we getting like? Are we getting hoodwinked?
Yeah, are we getting hoodwinked?
Like, did their position on the ladder, akin to power, hoodwink us?
Yes.
Into believing that these guys
You were hot. And then now their position on the ladder reveals they don't get me horny at all.
Well, I mean, the tide's gone out.
Yeah.
And they're swimming nude.
Yeah. Now, you could also say that being the vapid, self-absorbed society that we are, and you and I specifically here in this situation, both sides are true. If you're hot, if you're up the top of the ladder, you're hot. If you're down the bottom of the ladder, even if you are objectively hot, you're no longer hot because you're down the bottom.
Well, I think Cameron Munster's always hot. He's like Leo. You know what I mean? He's just hot all the time.
Maybe you're right. But
I think I'm definitely right.
But if the Storm started sucking balls,
He'd still be hot. It's like Callum Ponga. He's in a the Knights are going all right, but you know what I mean? He's still once removed from that environment and put into a maroon jersey, does wild things.
yeah, true.
All we're saying, punters and dribblers, is the Cows are fucking shit this year. Put a line through them.
Yeah.
The only good thing to come out of that game is that Valentine Holmes can kick a conversion. Fuck, he gets onto him. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Which is cool and all, but it doesn't
win
you
the
the game.
comps. Now, Jermaine Asako, I just love how unwanted these fucking Dolphins players were, particularly the back line.
Did you hear what fucking...
Completely unwanted. A team of misfits. Hammer, going back to his old side, because he obviously got no fucking time because Scotty Drink got put in, and I'm a Scotty Drink fan, but Hammer is having a fucking season. Scored in every game, Tom.
Yes, it's the first player to do that. To score first player or first fullback, I heard that, to score in every game in the first
He's
6
too
rounds.
hot to handle right now, baby. He's way too hot to handle. Jermaine Asako,
I will say,
unwanted,
Eddie, we've
ripping.
already had this in the green room before we got on the show today. We discussed, and in the green room on the weekend, about how it just Asako and Hammer anytime is the fish bet.
It's money.
fish and chips.
It's fish and chips. It's money for jam. And I love jam. And I've got a fucking piece of beautifully buttered and toasted and then jammed toast over there. I know that didn't make any sense, but you know what I mean. It's
tough.
there. It's there for me to eat.
Yeah.
And I've said no to it. I've said no to it. Riddle me that. Because Rando, who's a fucking dick rider for the Cowboys, promises me that UNH will score. When I've got a Jermaine over there who's been buttered up and doused in fucking jam ready
And a
to rock and
Hammer
roll.
playing against his old club.
Oh, my God. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah.
Hammer, the second player in the NRL era to score in the first 6 games of the year after Semi Radradra.
Right, and the first fullback.
Yep.
So also, after...
Good to see Biz never out and about as well.
It was good to see Brendan Elliott getting into his work. Congratulations. And getting sin binned in the 74th minute.
Yep.
Beers Never is, an old stalwart of the Hello Sport podcast, a famous former feature. After the game, the coach of the Cowboys, Toddley Payton, who I can't remember how he used to describe him last year, but as a giant penis in the north.
Well, no, you described him as like a villain in a Marvel movie.
Yes, but we also talked about him being a giant. His head looks like the tip of a penis.
I don't remember that.
Well, would you? I mean, I barely remember 90% of
I
the
don't
shit we
remember
said.
ever saying that.
And maybe we didn't, and I'm getting it wrong. Maybe it was a dream I had. He said after the game, he was asked about the hammer, and he kind of was a little bit salté, backhanded compliment the way he said it, where he was like, and I mean, you can maybe find the quote, Dave, but it's not the end of the world if you don't. But like, the reason we got rid of him at the end of the year was because of some of the comments he made that indicated he didn't want to stay, or like, because I mean, he was playing off the bench.
Yeah, he said, I'm not surprised at his form. He said, look, we made a decision around Hammer based on some of the words and his actions at the back end of last year.
Right. And then he was like basically saying the reason is that the Dolphins are reaping the benefits of all the shit we did for him.
Listen, I would say that if the Hammer, who's clearly a fullback, wants to play fullback instead of coming off the bench, let the boy spread his fucking wings.
Yes. But also though, if you were the Cowboys and you think about how old's
Hammer wasn't playing this well at the fucking Cowboys.
well, he was off the bench, but he's a fucking Origin centre. Like, you find a way to get that into an Origin centre into your side, don't you? And what I want to know is how old is Chad Townsend of Vinny Chase fame? How old's Chad?
He'd be 32.
Yep.
32. So Chad's got
Am I just like a genius?
Well, yes. I think the short answer to that question is yes, you are. Chad, the only known Chad in rugby league,
The only Chad from Chad,
whose
whose middle name's Chad.
correct. He's got 2 years left in him, probably at best. Like top line, well, he's not even going that well this year, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like generally speaking, he's aging.
Yep.
Scotty Drink, don't know how old he is, but you know that little smooth-skinned fucker can play in the halves. Do you not think in a long-term play situation, you've got someone like the Hammer in your side who is a fullback. You've got someone like Scotty Drink who's a great fullback right now, but if you lose Chad or when Chad is too old and you want to put him out to pasture, you bring Scotty Drink into the halves to go with fucking Tommy Deards.
Like
Hammer's at fullback. Like,
surely there was a place for Hammer on the wing.
yeah.
Or is that like Valentine
Well,
Holmes,
they've
Peter
got
Hickey, I
Tuolungi
get
and
that.
Felt. Like, do you fuck Felt off with respect? Has Felt done his dash to keep Hammer?
I think you probably do. That's, again, I'm not a rugby league coach, punters and dribblers.
No.
This is just a couple of old buds pontificating.
Yeah, but you look at Brendan Elliott playing there right now on the wing.
That's what I'm seeing, Tom. That's
Hammer would've
that's
looked
the
good
image
there.
I'm looking at.
Taulungi's injured.
Telling, yeah, sure, but
Sure,
like,
but like Kay Felt? Kay Felt
listen.
doesn't light the fucking world on fire.
And
He
he's
barely
looking-
scores tries. Look at the fucking tries he scored last year. It was fuck all. No offense to Kay Felt. I'm just
he's a
pointing
club
out.
legend, K. Felt. A club legend, but at some point, your club legends, much like old giraffes and elephants,
to be shot.
They need to be in the game reserves. They need to be shot
They need to be shot. It's as simple as
because
that.
they're fucking up the careers of the young lions coming through.
That's exactly right. I have fuckloads of respect for Wayne Bennett and what he's been able to do.
Yep.
That guy, this is like as if his legacy needed further cementing. Him going, all right, give me 18 months. Not enough time, but give me 18 months. I'm going to go get some misfits, put them together.
Yeah.
And you could argue, outside of that St. George loss last weekend, should have been like fucking 5-1. Maybe I'm pushing the Broncos one, but you know what I'm saying. They were in the
Broncos one was
They're in the
close.
fight.
No, they were in the fight. They were
And they
punching
had
on.
like heaps of injuries that game as well. Full strength. They
They had injuries in this game, didn't they?
If you took the
Who were
Dolphins,
their halves? Cody Nicarima?
Nicarima and Katoa, if you had the Dolphins to win the spoon this year and you got them at the disgusting price of $2, suck a big fat one.
Yeah.
Because that's the worst bet all time. And that's coming from a bloke who hasn't been tipping that well this year. And that's coming from Tom, who's been tipping
Worse.
worse than worse.
I've probably been the worst in the country. Now, winning them early, not winning them late, sure, but worst in the country I am. I've got to own that.
You've got to own it.
You've got to own that. I don't know that many people were picking the Cowboys to lose. But again, on Monday, Tuesday this week, you look back and you go, of course they lose. The Cowboys are not good this year. Their form line is true of them this year. They're not good.
They're not good. They're not good. They lost to the Dogs the other weekend, who aren't good either.
No.
They don't listen. Cowboys this year, 11th.
There you go.
And I've been writing them off. I've been writing the Cowboys off week one. I've been saying it. Check the fucking tapes. Been like this shit this year.
Yeah, we
People
all
said
have.
I went early. Did I? Or am I genius?
Kid's genius.
Let's keep going, Dave. Let's keep going. Shout out to the fish. Big
Love it for
fans
the
of
fish. Love it for the fish.
Obviously,
Done Manly. Fucking Penrith. Now this one.
Oi.
This is your fault
No, it's not. How's this my fault?
because you didn't pick them.
Listen. Yeah. All right. Now, I will say this. Dan and Kemp, friend of the show, he's a mate of ours. He's had concerns about where the Broncos are actually at. Thinks there might have been some papering of cracks, so to speak. The fucking Raiders go up there and just go, nah. Croker goes up there.
I love the
old
Croker.
as Methuselah.
Yeah.
And has a day out.
That's where we should have seen that as well. Was again, I went hard.
Mate,
at the,
mate, like literally drowning in omens.
yeah,
Like you just go, Croker, he is the heart and soul of the club. Surely they get up.
and it's like they've got a nice old bull defensive center.
They've got Rapiner, who had a game of games. Did you watch it?
No, I
He
didn't.
was in fucking everything. Everything. Trucking seeds, scoring tries, making tackles, like proper game.
Taking it to these fucking
Proper game.
shiny new toys. of
And the
NRL.
shiny new toys, boys, these boys with no fucking hairs on their
Yeah,
sacks.
that's it.
2 green.
These pubeless toys.
They don't chasing games, not for the faint-hearted. And
Nor
once
is chasing waterfalls.
and once you get behind on the scoreboard, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. Rapiner had a day out though. Fuck, he played well.
Stags. Look again though. That was fucked for me. I was trying to chase 2 stags, alone one.
Oh, mate. Again, listen. We see.
Croaks just shut him down.
It's.
I don't do it. I
tell you what, hindsight's just a wonderful thing.
It's such a bitch hindsight.
If I bet it isn't. If I could bet with hindsight, I'd be a fucking billionaire. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shit, yeah, you would. Same.
So would you.
Yeah, we should start our own betting engine called Hindsight.
Hindsight bets, and you're allowed to put the bets on after the result.
Yeah. Well, we are.
No one else can.
No one else. That wouldn't be smart.
No, it wouldn't. Do you reckon that'd work?
Look, there's legs in everything.
There is legs and everything.
Let's move on.
Now, before we move on, did you see ex-Manly Seagulls enforcer Marty Tapau clipped?
No, could you
with
get that
his
up?
knee?
Yeah.
Could you get that? Because he had like 20 stitches in his head.
Mate, I've never seen anything like it, and they kept showing it too on the in the live footage. Shout out to Kara. The fucking, as soon as he clips him, he goes down, and then probably in real time a second later, so it's a couple of seconds slowed down, it just starts pouring out of his head like a tap. Legitimately like a tap.
He also got put on report, Marty. For what I heard,
That's why I wanted you to see it, or I hope you'd seen it, but let's watch it together, and then we can make of it what we will.
Yes.
Because there's people out there saying it should have been a try because it's actually a loose carry, and then a Broncos player whose name escapes me picks it up, scores a try after Rapiner dropped it. And you just say to yourself, is this a contact sport, or if you get hurt, it's an automatic penalty? Which is it?
Yeah.
Is it if you get injured, is it always 100% a penalty? Is that like a thing, or is it that if accidents happen?
Was it? And obviously we'll see. But so Rapiner had bring the ball out of his in goal.
No. So Rapiner's taking the catch, and when he takes it, he falls to the ground, and
so it's even dumber.
and so
than I
he's running.
thought.
He's running through and just clips his head because he falls to the ground. See what I mean? So watch the blood. Bang! Look at that. So he takes and goes straight down. If that makes sense.
I guess go back to the start, Dave.
It's
It's an awful video.
they've shown absolutely nothing.
Can you maybe show a bit more of the lead up?
Try to find a better
I
one.
want to be able to see, like, the thing is,
There it is. So he just clips.
yeah, right. That is unfair.
So look, like what's he supposed to do? He's running into tackle
Go
him.
back to there, Dave. What are you doing?
Trying to find a better one.
No, that's good.
He's running into tackle him and just clips him.
'Cause I don't wanna see the
He
blood.
doesn't knee him to the head.
No, he doesn't. He's just and
And like he could argue, almost tries to get out of the way.
well, Rapana ducks into it, and not that Rapana knows what he's ducking into, but like they're both clearly just trying to.
Well, so what happened, Tom? To give you more context, the original call on the field was knock on, right? Then obviously Rapiner stays down because he's lost 3 liters of blood, and he's covered head to toe, and he's like covered in blood, his whole jersey and shit. And then as they're tending to the wound, which is basically akin to fucking brain surgery, they have time in the bunker to look at it, and it goes from a knock on loose carry to a penalty on report.
and what was the penalty? What did they say he did?
What's the word for it? Like
Reckless.
it's not reckless.
Careless.
Was it
Like a careless tackle,
like
basically.
dangerous contact to the head?
Yeah, careless contact or something like that.
Fuck, man.
They make up words on the
Yeah.
spot, bro. But
That is
literally, live
insane.
on the field, bang, knock on. And that was the call for ages. And then when he doesn't get up because he's pissing out blood, needs 20 stitches, they go up, oh, okay, hang on. Is this a penalty? What's more than a penalty is a report.
Right.
Like the judiciary, you would argue.
I'm pretty sure he didn't get charged. That's fucking stupid. And you know what? If he drops the ball there, 100% it should have been a try.
Because literally he drops it, it falls out, they pick it up, score a try. It's just one of those things where you go, what is
Meant to happen here.
Meant
What
to happen.
could he do? Look at that.
like? Surely you chalk that up as an accident and move on.
And
Like-
no
it
one's
shouldn't
at
be-
fault.
It shouldn't be a penalty unless you've fucked up.
Like if that was Tapau's head that Rapana had connected with,
Don't you think?
it'd
Like,
be a
was
head
that-
clash and it'd be play on. Like it'd be an accidental head clash. Okay, I've seen enough of it. Yeah, that's bullshit.
It's a lot of conjecture.
I heard that the bra had a good game as well. Corey.
The Red Nut. Fucking oath he did.
Sticky said it's the best game he's played in a Raiders jersey.
Corey has stood up and started to dominate. He
I'd
was
love to have
elite.
fucking Corey on the pod. Reach out, Corey.
Mate, it's that ranger in him, bruh. It's that ranger in him.
Reach out, Corey.
Simple as that. Just got into his work. 40 tackles. Missed 3, but made 40 rugby league tackles. Diffused a kick. You love to see it.
You
How many metres did he truck?
88, 23 post contacts,
88's not blowing the dicks off, is it?
How many minutes did he play?
71.
71 minutes.
Pretty good. Pretty fucking
Playing
good.
at lock, though. All right, that's the fucking Raiders game.
yeah.
But, like, great to see the Broncos come back down to earth. Maybe I was a week early on that whole fart sniffing thing, but I saw a team sniffing their own fluffs. I saw it.
Kempy's fucking nose buried in his own
I
arsehole.
saw it, and I know what I saw, and that's what's been conveyed.
It's Kempy's faux humility as well in the DMP last week. He was like, oh, man, you got to be worried about the Raiders. Like, he didn't mean any of that.
Didn't that annoy you?
Yeah.
Fucking annoyed me.
That faux humility.
Got to be worried. I'm like, no. You don't actually believe that, and it's come back to bite you in a big way.
Yeah.
I tell you what, mate. Like Titans, Dragons, whatever.
Whatever. But sucked into the
Knights are going all right.
You can't. I hate the Knights. I want that on the public record. Hate them in 2023. Public record.
We hate
stuff.
them for this year.
Yes.
And
But-
for reasons I'm not prepared to go into.
No. But I do, and I love the Wars. But you cannot discredit the toughness of the Knights given the playing roster generally, but also they're without Kalen Ponga.
I saw something today and I thought I'd screenshot it and read it out here on the podcast. This is Matt Stanwell in the Punters and Dribblers. The Newcastle Knights are a hooking wasteland. Listen to this. 2017, Rory Jason, throat injury, retired without playing game for the club. 2018, Slade Griffin, ACL, LCL, meniscus, retired. 2020, Jaden Brayley, ACL. 2021, Connor Watson, torn Achilles. 2020, Andrew McCulloch, torn hamstring off bone. 2022, Jaden Brayley, torn Achilles. 2023, Jaden Brayley, ACL. They need to look after Phoenix Crossland.
Well, they need to guard him. They need like a Pope Mobile around
He
him.
needs to be like Bubble Boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Has that happened in rugby league before? Has anyone played in a literal bubble? And I'm not talking about think about like Michelin Man.
Okay, so he's padded up. It's going to be hard to scoot out a dummy half, though. Will that limit his ability to play the game of football?
Potentially. I'm just looking for options here, Tom, because they've been cursed. Is it a Badiris curse?
Well, Badiris' last game was when he got fucking KO'd.
Did this happen with Badiris?
I think
somehow?
Badiris' last game, he got KO'd by Jared Rea-Hargraves in that semi when Wayne had got him to the
When
fucking
Wayne got him
semi.
to the semi, yes.
Maybe it started with Jared. Maybe it doesn't happen until Jared gets KO'd by a Knights player or indeed retires.
Which potentially could be another year.
Yeah, they're talking about him going around again.
And I'm talking about him should be going around another year. Because he's a fucking...
He can play.
He can play.
Every time that Rando talks shit about Greg Marju, he scores. So Random Stats guy is fucking ridiculous.
Greg Marju came into my Supercoach team this year because I'm like, fuck you, Rando. You don't know what you're talking about. As evidenced by his week's results.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I love him.
No,
and,
I love
and
him,
stats,
dude.
And stats.
Stats are
will
great.
always honey dick me.
Yeah.
Always honey dick me. Like a moth to that fucker. Zzz.
Yeah.
That's me with a stat. But sometimes you need to be strong enough to say no to the light.
Yep.
And go
You've
with
got it.
Marzu, who
Yeah.
scores a lot. And Dom Young, who's just turned a corner.
Hasn't he?
Shout out to Dom Young. And shout out to Greg Marzu, who got a double. So, Rando, you're looking in the wrong places, bruh. You're looking in the wrong places.
Move on.
We get to the big game. Monday Arvo.
Monday.
You know what this was for me, Tom? Back in the Robbo pub with me old mate Hamish Street. Couple of Guinnesses on board. Couple of fucking Jamos. Bit of ice. Bangers. Mash. Gravy.
That's
onion.
nice.
Living.
That's nice. That's real nice.
That's what it's all about.
And
I was enamoured, and we've talked about this before, but I need to talk about it again. Clint Gutherson's top knot played off a shin tat is rugby league.
I think it's a double shinny as well.
I love it.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of it.
Yeah. It's poetry in motion. It's poetry in motion, Eddie. You know, when the poets get to writing about rugby league,
Yep.
they pair shin tats with top knots.
That's what they do. That's
and
the
Clints.
and
Clints.
Clints.
Clints into shin tat into top knot.
Clints, dude. And now I start to think about Clint's in Dubbo, which was a great store. And then I start to think about the value of a Clint name.
Yeah.
The name Clint is slept on in a big
But also,
way.
Clint's
It's a powerful
was
name.
Clint's a value store?
Yes.
Where you got good value?
Yes.
Gutherson, one of the great value players in the NRL.
100%. He is Clint's, baby. He's Clint's warehouse. That's who he is. He gets the fucking job done.
With the
now,
double shin.
obviously on this show, we give credit where credit's due, baby. Like, we don't hate for no reason. We just tell it how it is. And if the truth hurts you, that's not my fucking fault.
No.
But I got to call a spade a spade. Mitch Moses had a fucking bit of a day out yesterday.
Kid had a game.
His kicking was fucking elite.
Yep.
And poor old Charlie Staines
Pooh.
got caught out of position quite a few times.
But Pooh Staines played all right. He played pretty good. Like the Tigers, again, not shitting on anyone for the sake of shitting on anyone. The Tigers, who are a shit club, and I feel sorry for the players, they actually had a crack. They had a good crack. They had some players playing well. Appy had a good game.
Oh, mate.
Pooh
mate,
Staines had a good game, aside from, like, you know,
Appy, well, apart from
that one where he dropped the fucking
drop.
You saw John Bateman's face when he dropped that. He just goes, like,
But
someone needed to give. You know what the Tigers need, or certainly like they need for like their elite players, like your John Bateman, Appy Coruscant, is for a trainer to be running around with like Tigers issue pillows for like their better players to scream into when their shit players do shit stuff.
So the trainers. So obviously the trainer in that situation runs up to a Bateman, runs up to an Appy. Appy yesterday was head and shoulders above everyone else on the fucking field. Without him on the fucking field, they wouldn't have scored a point. He was that dangerous.
I tell you who else was good for the Tigers, where I'm like, where have you been all my life? Junior Tupou on the wing.
Yeah, he had a game.
Dude, that kid was
had a
fucking
game
good.
yesterday.
He was good.
But again, except for that one where he was returning the kick
And he
made
dropped
a
it.
break
Yeah,
and
and he
threw that
spilled it.
stupid pass.
Yeah.
That was a
yeah.
power
Oh,
screen.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
listen, he's a young kid, and young kids have got it in them, right? They've got a fuck up in them. And Pooh Staines, you'd say, is still a young kid. That drop was unforgivable, but like,
But they did. This is the truth of the matter. The Eels started better, and Mitch Moses was making Staines pay from a positional standpoint. But then they just grind their way back into the game. It was beautiful to see.
it was good. It was a good Easter Monday game, and
It was a great Easter Monday game.
Were it
I was
not
absolutely
for-
loving it.
were it not for that Pooh Staines drop, there may have been an
And
opportunity
mate,
for the
you
Tigers
just like they're on the front foot.
Yeah,
they've
repeat set.
they've just kicked the conversion or the penalty rather.
Coming home with a wet
and
sail.
Appy looks up out of dummy half and just dribbles it perfectly into the in goal.
Don't think they kicked the penalty at that point. They were a try
No,
behind.
they kicked the penalty already.
No, they'd kicked the penalty.
Then
They'd
they-
kicked the
then they
penalty
marched
because this was to
upfield.
chuck the nut
Yeah, right,
upfield.
right.
And then they put out the long droppy, and poor old Pooh Staines. And it is what it is. Obviously, that's rugby league. But
he had
you
a good
couldn't-
game. That's the problem as well. He did some great things.
but it was the drama, how it had built up. They'd got themselves back into the game. Luke Brooks had kicked the penalty. Obviously, Dewey's off with the ACL, so they fucking. I think Appy took the
Yeah,
penalty
Appy took the
conversion before.
Conversion, yeah.
Shit house. They get back into it. They pan to the box, and Benji's up there screaming down the mic. But there's also a sense in the box that there's people in there daring to dream.
Yeah.
That was the sense I got, Tom. People in there daring
Tim
to dream.
Sheen's not talking to anyone. He's sitting at the back while
He is.
Benji's doing the talking. And obviously, I'm not a coach. Shock horror. But I thought maybe Sheensy'd be in there, you know.
Well, that's what people have been pointing out. I think that I've seen Benji on the mic most weeks. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
correct.
No, I don't. Fucked if I know.
But do you think that the Shenius is whispering
To Benji.
sweet nothings to Benji?
Well, is there
probably wouldn't
maybe-
need to whisper it. He'd probably just
no,
say
probably
it.
just say it. But like, still, is it necessary to have like that many chains of command?
Well, is he being
You're talking about the supply chain of information.
But is he the general talking to his major?
Is Sheen's China, Benji the shipping, Benzi. Shenius is China, so you're getting something made in China, manufacturer. Benji is the transport. He's your your freight. And then the trainer, 3PL.
Yep.
Player is your customer.
Perfect.
Do you need it in rugby league? Do you need that many?
Probably not. Probably not. I probably think that you could probably cut out the
least one.
Shenius to Benji thing.
Yeah.
Although it may be the fact, Tom, that Benji's running the show.
Benji may be manufacturing.
He may be. Shenius might just be up the back
He might own the
Watch
factory.
it. Yeah, he might be the owner. That's correct. We don't know for sure, punters and dribblers, but if you can lip read, then maybe you can give some insight. But yesterday would have been really tough for Tigers fans.
Did they do the walkout? Did the players protest? Did anything happen?
Well,
The
you couldn't
fans?
tell.
No, there wasn't a fuckload of fans.
What was it a call, bro?
Well, that's also the problem. But I'd be interested to know if any of them followed
I
through.
don't think they showed it.
I read also during the week that I think the Tigers club got in contact with our friend Clint Schmider and kind of had a chat to him and the group, so maybe turned him
I don't know if
around
it happened, to be honest. I feel like they would have shown it.
Yeah, no, they would have shown it.
Well, look, it wouldn't shock me if the Tigers fans didn't follow through.
But also, unless they were all sitting together, 500 people getting up and leaving at the same time you wouldn't have noticed.
No, there'd be people going to
There'd
the
be
toilet.
1,000 people going to the fucking pisser every minute. Anyway, look, rugby league's a cruel old game, and the rugby league gods having their way with the Tigers at the moment.
And Dewey now with the ACL. Fuck me. Isn't the ACL just a cunt of an injury?
Oh, it's a cunt. And so Dewey out for the season.
Yeah. Like, that's just to be like, yep, 2024, back 2024. You're just like, dude, careers aren't long. He's done 3 of the cunts.
Did you see that Pascoe of Ask Me Anything fame,
Of, hey, look at me fame.
of new haircut for each day fame?
Yeah, of Ask the Boss, #1 podcast in the country fame.
He has
tight
asked
shirts.
for an apology from NRL 360 and is considering legal action
Why?
because he said that they talked to Holdsworthy base.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that fucking Kenty asked Canberra, not related to Holdsworthy, which is in Sydney, I think. I don't even know if it's called Holdsworthy, but you know what I'm saying. And that they made out like they fucking
That they didn't.
Wow. And it's like
Wow.
defamation.
Well, there you go.
So
There you
watch
go.
this space.
Interesting.
Not happy.
Well, someone did remind me this week, not the first time Tigers have threatened to sue the NRL or someone associated them. Remember, was it the Cowboys game last year?
Yeah,
with
they were gonna sue
the
for 2
challenge
points.
after full time where they threatened to sue.
Also worth noting that wasn't the first time someone's overlooked using an Anzac on the Anzac Day jersey. I think the Raiders did it last year. There was a photo in the P's and D's.
Yeah.
Like, it happens quite a bit.
Yeah. Look, it was a
Just worth saying.
No, definitely. It was a confluence of, I guess, factors, of situations, of fuck-ups from the Tigers that made it particularly titillating to discuss, right? They've obviously just
See
been...
that one there?
Yeah. Like, they've been fucking... There's been plenty of things going on there. And Pascoe obviously knickers in a knot because he's, getting ripped on for all this different shit. I think Lee Hadjipatelis, who's the chairman, he is Bryden. Is he Bryden's lawyers or is he fucking...
I think so.
So, they're a litigious bunch from the jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They got it in them.
They got it in them. But because that was where we got our information from as well, where it was like they didn't even fucking ask. Because we were saying NRL 360 reporting the Tigers they didn't even get fucking permission. They lied about that. So it is interesting if it is in fact that was an incorrect reporting.
Yeah. They're basically implying that Kenny just fucking went on there and just started ripping new assholes without any proof.
Right. Well,
That's their claim. I don't know. I only watched a second of 360 last night. I don't know if there was an apology or not. I don't think there was.
Did I watch it? I think I only watched a bit of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. They certainly didn't lead with that.
No, they didn't. They didn't open with it, no.
Listen, again, it's like when a newspaper reports the wrong thing. The redaction or apology is like the smallest fucking thing in the corner, some corner.
Well, it's unreadable.
Yeah.
It's like the T's and C's, Tom.
Yep. But if that is the case, then, our mate Pascoe of tight polo shirt on the field fucking putting cones out in the changing rooms on his phone, fucking, he deserves, and the club generally, a bit of respect there because obviously they fucked up, but everyone else said it was cool. But also for sure, just get the right photo.
Correct. So thank you to our friends at KO for that segment.
Yes, and if you or anyone you know have any friends in an uncontacted Amazonian tribe who do not have KO, it is on you to let them know about it.
It's on you. You.
Because otherwise, how the hell do you watch rugby league without it?
We can't. And that's a fact.
Yeah. Well, you can watch like 2 games.
You can't.
But like, I mean.
You can't. Well, you want to sit through ads the whole fucking time? Sounds great.
Yeah, 2 of 8 games. Cool.
Jedico.
Eddie, the UFC on the weekend, there were some good fights on there. Shout out to Kelvin Gastelum, who came back looking better than he's looked in a long time. That Rosses Jr., 18-year-old kid who came in with all the hype and got fucking... That hype train got derailed. Kevin Holland's knockout of Ponzinibbio was horny. Rob Font knocked the fuck out of Adrian Yanez. Gilbert Burns, Masvidal. Look, he retired Masvidal. That fight was okay. It wasn't anything fucking too
It was pretty
horny.
comprehensive.
It was a comprehensive win, yeah, but it was
yeah.
it wasn't anything that sort of got the dick tingling all that much. The main event, Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira. The rematch. They fought twice in kickboxing. Pereira's won twice, and they fought once in UFC. Pereira knocked out Izzy. Blah, blah, blah. If you don't know it, now you know. I fucking wanted Izzy to win, but I didn't think it was going to happen. We always talk about Teddy Atlas saying, once you get a belt, you fucking get better. This is one of the great comeback wins, ever. Comfortably. It was fucking incredible.
He's getting worked here against the fence, punters, dribblers. Obviously, if you're not watching,
But he's fucking playing possum. So he's actually allowing him to come at him a little bit. Look at that right hand.
That is
dude.
unbelievable.
Look at that right hand. And then again,
Ray Cox,
bang. He's out here. Pereira's out the second hit. Head
cold.
bounces.
And then a big hammer fist for good measure.
Yeah, here we go. You could have stopped it there, but waboo.
Okay, that'll do.
And then this celebration is one of the coldest fucking celebrations. In fact, it is the coldest celebration.
It gets colder than this. It gets colder.
What?
When he goes up to his son.
Oh,
and
yeah.
points at him.
But I'm saying this whole
Who's
thing
a
generally.
kid, and
yeah,
he's
but
like,
do you know why
I
he
don't
did it?
fucking, because he fucking did it when he was in kickboxing. The kid did it next to him. He just haven't forgotten.
And the kids are crying in the crowd.
Oh, I know. And he's the kid's probably 15?
Yeah. No,
Maybe
I'm
younger?
Mate, I'm all for it.
I think it's hilarious, but it's cold.
Oh,
as fuck.
it is ice cold.
Unbelievable.
So when Pereira knocked out Izzy in kickboxing, Pereira's kid was in the fucking ring, and he was probably 9 at the time.
Maybe
and,
younger.
Yeah, and he walks up to Izzy, and then who's just sort of come to, and falls on the ground and does this sort of knockout thing, taking the piss. So Izzy walks up to the side of the cage where his kid is and starts pointing at him and just drops.
Look at this. Points at him. Points. You watching? Oh, my God. It's good stuff.
It is as savage.
He is a fucking showman.
Yes.
An out-and-out showman. Getting the Amazonian sort of
Yeah, going back to him, because that's what Pereira does when he comes out, is he's got the fucking... Because can you also just do a bit of research, Dave, to Pereira? I keep saying this, and I don't know what it is, but how close Pereira's immediate lineage is to Amazonian tribes. Is it his grandparents who were in a fucking Amazonian tribe? Is it his parents? Did he grow up there? I don't know. But
so he was playing possum, you reckon?
that's what he even says as much. He's and obviously fighters say that shit.
Do you know? But you know.
Yeah,
what I mean.
yeah. But you look at him, he sort of just shells up defensively and then just wah-bah.
It does come out. It does seem sort of planned the way he does it.
Because the way he throws, the thing as well, they were saying, if he's getting fucked up there, if he's in trouble, those punches are pretty fucking on the money for someone who's they don't look like a guy just winging it.
That's a good point. I hadn't considered that.
Yeah.
It looks like he's inviting him over because the timing's so pure.
Yeah.
So much power behind them.
And he follows up that first punch of the second one, just so
And hits him,
immediately,
and hits
knows
him.
where he's at and what he's doing.
Exactly.
They were also saying, because the commentators have, they call them, the fighter meetings before the fights. So they'll have, one-on-one chats with fighters and all the commentators, so they'll get a bit more insight about maybe how they're training or certain things.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They don't necessarily give away tactics and shit, but sometimes they will let them know what they're doing so that it's not insight that the commentators will necessarily use in the fight. He told us in the fighter meetings they want to, but it might be something that they use afterwards. And I'm pretty sure that one of them was they mentioned Izzy mentioned like as part of their game plan that they were going to use his aggression against him. So like have him coming forward at you and then do what he did. But Izzy was way more aggressive in this fight generally.
In the first round, he was. Second round, he was a bit more measured, but first round,
you could see those leg kicks were starting to fuck him up again as well. You're like, oh, Jesus Christ.
100%. It was fucking genius. It was so well disguised now that I'm hearing about this. Absolute genius. But the theatrics afterwards, people I'm sure are like, it's arrogance and it's fucking bullshit. But I'm like, baby, that's what puts bums on seats.
That's what this sport is about.
Shit.
That's what this sport is about.
Like, yeah, if you're the sort of guy who's humble and that's not really his style, that's fine. But he is the showman.
Yeah, like it doesn't. If you are humble, all good. Play on, be you, bro. But if you're not, if you're like this, then fucking oath do it.
Play on as well.
But I will say this about Izzy, who I am a huge fan of, and he needed a knockout like this because his fights had been.
Well, the last five, I think, were boring decisions.
Had been dry.
Outside of his loss.
He
last fight.
Is a bit of a fucking one-liner machine. Like he plans a lot of the shit he says. And there's a part of me that like it didn't feel like when Connor would say the things he said, I feel like, and even if they were planned, like surprise, surprise, motherfucker, King is back, that's planned, clearly. But like maybe it wasn't. But like his just seems super planned. Everything he says seems super like thought of before.
100%.
And there's sometimes comes off a little.
He's reading from his own book.
Sometimes it comes off a bit Magoo. Like he's like Elsa, like Frozen, like Elsa. I'm like, he's almost like a bit nerdy actually, not Magoo, nerdy. He's a bit of a geek.
A bit geeky.
He's a geek who's a throw. He's a violent, terrifying geek.
I think, like, apparently he used to be in the new Kiwi version of Justice Crew.
Well,
true?
Don't take everything that Archie says as 100% gospel. I don't know if he was in the Justice Crew of New Zealand, but he did like to dance and shit. Justice Crew sang as well, by the way. Justice Crew were like a singing, dancing troupe.
Sure.
I think Izzy just likes to dance, and he was in like a dance crew.
So he wasn't in a dance crew?
Yeah. Right. But he wasn't in the New Zealand equivalent of Justice Crew, who are an Australian institution.
Yes. And someone I have a lot of time for.
Exactly. Come back soon.
And who birthed the Purple Wiggle.
Yeah, now Purple Wiggle, one of them.
It's not a bad resume.
It's not nothing.
It's not a bad resume.
Justice Crew to the Wiggles, dude.
Not a bad resume.
One of the 50 Wiggles they have now. But yeah, he did do some dancing. Dave, have you found anything on Pereira? And then we'll.
Yeah, so Pereira belongs to the Pataxo or Pataho tribe. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. From Brazil, who basically up until 1961 at the latest, but mid-50s lived off the land in the Amazon. So if you go probably 2 generations back, his grandparents were probably, living.
Grandparents. We'll go with grandparents.
Grandparents, which is pretty hectic.
Maybe his parents were born there and then they fucked off.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So he was brought up in the favelas in Brazil because a lot of the tribe were pushed off their land for private farming. So they all moved. So it's direct lineage.
Which is sad and scat. But that's cool.
At least they could have KO now, maybe.
Well, that's true. Now they could have KO.
Silver linings.
Silver linings. Well, exactly. It's not. It doesn't forgive that.
No, it doesn't forgive that.
But
it doesn't detract.
It doesn't.
It doesn't take away.
It doesn't make it any better.
No, it doesn't.
But it is a silver lining.
Yes.
You can't ignore that.
No.
But it does not forgive the sins of the past.
It doesn't forgive the sins, but they do now get 8 rounds
of rugby league. Or like a games live and ad free during play. They can also get the pay-per-views,
which is what I did,
on main event via KO without having a having to the KO platform. That's what I did.
Which is what I did. Which we did.
But that does not forgive the sins of the past.
No, it doesn't. You've said it. You've said it.
I have. I just want to make that.
Say it
So it does not forgive
the
sins of the past.
Yep, sure.
Eddie.
Yep. That's UFC.
Well, Dave?
Got a bit on Adesanya. I
you.
couldn't find a specific crew he was involved with, but he did compete in and win dance contests around New Zealand. He was also quoted in an article in 2018 saying, "I've always been an entertainer all my life. If I could sing well, guys like Chris Brown, Jason Derulo, and Justin Bieber would have been eating my dust."
Takes a man of confidence to say shit like that.
It does. He does move well.
He can move well. Does he move well?
He can't sing.
Does he move as well as Chris Brown?
No.
That kid can move.
He doesn't.
Probably shouldn't have a career, but that's all right.
Well, listen. Art and artist.
Sure, but he's still going. You know?
I'm just saying.
All I'm saying is that cunt shouldn't have a career.
All I'm saying is he can dance. That's
all I'm saying as well. No.
That's
what I'm saying. Hey, that doesn't forgive the sins.
No, it doesn't forgive.
It does not forgive the sins.
He should have gone to prison, but he could have danced.
He could have danced. He could have danced in prison greens.
Yes.
He would have danced in his yard time.
He could have taken his talents inside
to the big house.
Yes.
And entertained during yard time.
That's right. Because he can still move.
But he should have been in there.
Yeah. Prisoner or not, he can move.
Can move. Doesn't forgive the sins.
No, doesn't.
That's UFC?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, is he dancing?
Yep.
Okay, we'll see it before we go. Okay, Chris Brown has nothing to be afraid of here. Chris has nothing. Chris would not be scared by this at all.
Actually, worse than I thought.
That's
it would be.
the same. Chris should be more worried about the biggies in prison.
That was awful.
That was awful. That wasn't great. He doesn't look super impressed by it either.
No, I don't think so. But that Justin Bieber line's, it's not hitting home.
No, it's not. It's not. Shout out to John Rahm, the Masters. There's not too much there, except for those fucking trees falling, dude.
Hectic.
Do you see there was a person
I saw
in between the fucking, in between the trees?
Unbelievable. How do they just fall over like that?
Someone put up a meme of fucking Greg Norman with a chainsaw.
It's good.
Yeah, it is good.
I couldn't help but laugh about the Brooks Koepka thing being like, bro, it's more than 54 holes. Like, it was just perfect.
Yeah.
It worked so well.
It did work well.
The only guy that's got to like 11 or 12 under after 54 holes and lost was Greg Norman twice. So nine of the 11 people to have got to that score after 54 holes have won. The only two times it didn't happen was Greg, both times, and now Brooks.
Dave Portnoy fucking hates Brooke Koepka, and he was putting up videos on Twitter of him just going, That's a fucking choke and a half from Brookie K.
Yeah, so Brooks channeling his daddy's sort of...
Masters work.
That's right.
I would have fucking loved Phil Mickelson to win it. He's just had one of the weirdest heel turns of all time. Wears black leather jackets everywhere.
Yeah, but people still love Phil the Thrill.
Yeah, but I thought the PGA types were like, fuck Phil the Thrill.
Yeah, but
didn't he do something to piss people off when it comes to like Saudi?
No, but the people still love Phil the Thrill.
But what was his controversy that he had where he was like, he wrote a letter of like, fucking get over it.
I think he said
Saudis are fucking...
It was something to do with them chopping up that journo. They did.
It's just the sort of casual nature that you said it was just.
They took him out in plastic bags.
I know they did. Chopping up the journo sounds like you may as well just be like fucking. I don't know.
It was something to do with that. He said some fucking crass comment, and it didn't come off well. Obviously, I can't remember it off the top of the head, but he did shoot 7 under yesterday, and
he's the oldest man to be in the top 5, I think, of a Masters.
And listen. People love it when Phil shoots low on Sunday at the Masters. Yeah. Got to 8 under in the clubhouse, but Johnny Rahm just too clinical.
Johnny was good.
Johnny,
I tell you, Johnny got a bucket ass on him. He's got a dumper.
Johnny's got a big dumper.
He's got a caboose, dude. Looks like he's wearing nappies. And that's not a disrespect thing. I love it. I love a big, thick Spaniard.
It looked like he had pull-ups on.
Yeah. Big, chunky, fucking muscular bum.
Like, almost you want to give it a...
Oh, bro.
You know what I mean?
Smack it through the fucking screen.
Yeah. You want to give that thang a tap.
Yeah.
Or a smack.
Yeah. While watching on KO.
Obviously on KO. Look at that. That's a caboose.
That is a
caboose.
Look at that ass, dude. That thing is huge. Look at that fucking rump, dude.
That's big and thick.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to the Masters.
Yeah, shout out to the punter and the dribbler. We'll be back on Thursday for our Thursday pod where we will be touching on Amazon Tribes. Dave, don't let us forget. About even out tomorrow. And that's it, I think. Look, at this stage, live stream happening, just depending on some shit.
Love yous.
Ciao.
Could you two just not talk anymore?